Welcome back to the greatest, most evil, most cookingful channel in the entire YouTube space. Guys, welcome back. How are we doing, chat? How are we doing? Time to go over some spoilers, chat. Time to go over 11:37. We're back. Guys, we're back. How we doing? How we feeling? We are the most evil channel, the most sus channel, the most toxic, most degenerate channel. We're here, guys. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. We got the 11:37 short summary. I have not read anything from the spoilers, okay? I've read nothing. I haven't even seen the title, okay? The most diabolical Vincent. How we doing, Vincent? How we doing, Vizwa? How we doing, L? We got legends right here. We got Vincent, Vizwa, L, Unknown, Legend, Sushi, Wizdro, welcome back. Okay, Young King right there. We got Lucas, the one and only Lucas. Anthony was good. Mind Hacks, PB and J, welcome back. Simon, yo, we got all the legends in here. Eric, yo, make yourself known. Make yourself known. If you are here, make yourself known. Don't be a lurker. If you're gonna lurk this stream, fine, lurk this stream. You can lurk, but at least post one message in the chat. Just post one message and let it be now. Make yourself known. We got Blackbeard Propagandist, welcome back. AKA Door Handle, welcome back, bro. I've been keeping you in my prayers. I hope things are going good for you, man. I hope you're staying strong, bro, and you got your head on straight, bro. Artie, welcome back. King. Happy D, what's good? Eric Hernandez, the one and only. Eric Hernandez has been a long-time supporter, long-time roaster of this channel. Guys, before we get started and with these spoilers, guys, you guys know what I'm gonna say, man. You know what you gotta do, chat. You gotta like the stream, chat. You gotta leave a like on the stream for your boy. You know what I'm saying? Drop a like on the stream. Drop a like on the stream so we can grow the community, spread the degeneracy. Okay, do that for your boy. Do that for your boy. So guys, funny story. I saw people complaining that I started late. Well, let me tell you guys something, right? I woke up right at like 8 a.m. Right now it's 11:23. I woke up at like 8 and I was so tired. It was one of those moments where you wake up and you're like, nah, bro, I'm going back to sleep. I woke up at 8 and I saw that the spoilers were out. And I'm like, bro, first of all, I'm going back to sleep. Second of all, I don't stream at 8 a.m. That's too early. You guys know I always stream like 11 or later. Like it's 11:20 right now. So I'm like, nah, I'm going back to sleep. So when I went back to sleep, I overslept. I woke up at like 11 on the dot. 11 or like 10:55 or something like that. Like close to 11. So I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to have to. I wanted to, because now, my goal right now, my mission, as I pray the rosary every single day. I pray the rosary every single day. So when I woke up, like I already knew it was going to take 20 minutes. So by the time I finished praying the rosary, it was already like 11:13. Like I had to immediately go live. But you know what's even funnier, chat? Apparently I didn't set the start time for the stream at 11:15. Apparently I clicked 10:15. Apparently I clicked 10:15, but here's the thing: when I started the premiere, right? When I began the countdown to the stream, wasn't it already past 10:15? Like, wasn't it already like 10:50? But then I said that the stream was starting at 10:15. Do you guys get what I'm saying? It was like already past that time to begin with. I meant to click 10:15. My bad. Guys, you know I'm a little retarded. You guys know I'm a little brain dead. I don't really have these brain functions working properly all the time. You know, we have malfunctions in our brain. You know, at least me, on a constant basis. Three Noses audience will show up regardless. I mean, I hope so. I hope so. Sometimes, I don't know, man. Sometimes I gotta second guess you guys, man. We got okay with the membership. Joining the gang. Can we get some salutes for okay? Can we get some dubs in chat? Can we get some 07s, some salutes for the boy okay? Dropping the membership. Welcome to the Three-Eyed Tribe, bro. The Three-Eyed Tribe. You are officially a gang member. You are a part of the mafia, the gang, the militia, the army, the team, the clique, whatever you want to call it, man. Welcome in, bro. Yo, why did Vizwa get deleted? What did he say? No break next week? Bro, Lucas, why'd you delete that? Wait, do you guys consider no break next week a spoiler? No spoiling the spoilers. Guys, I want to know, do you guys consider no break next week a spoiler? I don't consider it a spoiler. I feel like that's kind of like, in my opinion, I think it's like kind of petty, you know? There's no way your peripheral doesn't see the next spoilers. No, it actually doesn't. Because I have two monitors, my chat is on the left. But like, even though the spoilers are on my peripheral, I don't see the spoilers. I don't know what the title is. I don't know anything about the spoilers. I just have it on the screen right now. No break next week is always the most hype part. I mean, hey, Lucas, that is true. Lucas, that's actually a really good point. It's actually a really good point. All right, guys, listen, man. Before we jump into these spoilers, can we just get some ratings? Let's say 1 to 100, because I feel like 1 to 100 gives you more like flexibility with your ratings. Guys, to those of you that have read already, 1 to 100, what do you rate these spoilers? I want to know. Give me a precise number. I want to see like 96, 94, 93.2. 1 to 100, what are we giving these spoilers? And cheers, guys. Anyone got a cup of coffee? I think I saw someone a few minutes ago. They said they had a cup of coffee. Who was it? Blackbeard Propagandist night streams. We used to have night streams for the episode reactions. When we used to react to the anime, we always were doing the night streams because that's when the anime episodes would release for me. 90, 95. Wow, 99, 95. Okay, are you guys glazing? This is L. Wait. L. I always say L. You and Smokey are like the non-glazers of the chat, like the non-Oda angels. You really mean it, L? Like, in all seriousness, you truly give it a 90. What's good, Simon? What's good, brother? Mid? Nah, this chapter can't be mid. Look at the ratings. What's good, Joyboy22? How even okay said a 95. That's A. This better not let me down. Skibbity out of 10. Oh, so new time slots supposedly at 9 p.m. Bro, when's the anime returning? Another 6 months, man? Just because of so 1 point. L, is it because of like 1 point? One of the points make it a 90 out of 100? But hey guys, when the anime returns, let me know. Do you guys want to do anime reactions? Oh, I was thinking, guys. How about for the short summary, long summary, and chapter reaction streams, all 3 types of streams, what if, like, after I kind of get through the gist of the content, we do like open mic? Like, you guys join the Discord, I unmute you guys for like 5 minutes, you guys ask a question, you guys kind of make a little point, and we talk back and forth on stream, like an open mic. What do you guys think about that? I had that idea and I was like, man, that'd be pretty fun, because I had like the open mic idea for like a religion stream. But what if we just did that in like the short summary, long summary, chapter reactions? You guys hop in the Discord with a mic, a working mic. You guys state your opinion, your take, your question, or whatever, and we just talk about it. Yeah, and making you guys do tryouts. Exactly. It's moderator tryouts. I think that'd be pretty cool, because like sometimes, bro, when it's like a hype chapter, for an example, there's just so many chat messages. It's just impossible to read every chat message and give everyone a truly full-fledged response. So I feel like if you guys hopped in the Discord and you asked your question or stated your case or whatever in the voice chat, you guys would actually be able to get a full-fledged answer. And I think it'd be pretty cool. All right, guys, let's get ready for these spoilers, man. Let's get ready for these spoilers. Let's go ahead and do a quick prayer, guys. Quick prayer. And we're going to jump into these amazing, amazing spoilers. Good idea? Really cool. No OP YouTuber does that? All right, we gotta do that. How about we try it today? We'll try it today, okay? When we go through the short summary spoilers, I'm going to join my Discord server, and I'm going to go into a voice channel, and I'm going to just pull you guys in one by one. I'll give you like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long, state an opinion, state a theory, state a case, whatever it is, and we chop it up on the stream in front of the chat, and let's just try it out today, okay? Pushing boundaries. All right, in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Lord Jesus Christ, my refuge, my stronghold, my deliverer, my king, my Father in heaven, thank you for giving me another day of life. Lord, thank you for breathing life into my body, into my mind, body, and soul. Thank you for giving me another opportunity to experience life today. Lord, it is precious, it is invaluable, and I love you tremendously for this opportunity. Lord, thank you for this gift of life. Lord, I also thank you for all the food, water, shelter, protection, guidance, courage, bravery, resilience, everything that you feel within my heart, mind, body, and soul. Lord, I thank you for giving me all of these powers and abilities and gifts. Lord, I will glorify you to my very last breath. Lord, thank you for all that you do for me, and I could never take it for granted. Lord, thank you so much. Lord, please give me more faith and strength to turn away and truly repent for my sins. Lord, help me, help reveal this darkness within me. Help reveal the darkness within my heart. Help me reveal my nasty, sick, rotten ways, and help me turn away from sin, Lord, so I can act more like you, so I can be more like you, God, more like you, Christ. I want to be more Christ-like and make you proud and do your will, not my own, Lord. Give me the strength to turn away and truly repent. And Lord, please take care of everyone watching the stream. I ask that you please bless the stream, give us lots of comedy, lots of laughter. Lord, please give us lots of new ideas for theories. Lord, just make this a beautiful, blessed time for us. Allow us to come together and all be in communion and all be just happy brothers and sisters under you, Lord. I ask that you please bless the stream. And finally, Lord, I ask that you please show up to every single person in this chat and every single person that will show up to the stream. I ask that you show up in their life and reveal yourself to them in such a way that they cannot ever possibly deny. Lord, I ask that you fill them with bravery. I ask that you fill them with hope. Make them have inner peace. Lord, I ask that you please protect them as your daughters and your sons. Lord, I ask that you help them through their troubled times with their family, friends, finances, health, career, whatever it is, Lord, with the relationships. I ask that you help them, Lord, and please fill them with love and fill them with hope, fill them with resilience, fill them with joy, and fill them with positivity. Lord, I ask that you bless them in all sorts of areas in all walks of life, because I truly love them, and I know you love them even more because you're their God. You're not the God of Jews, you're not the God of Christians, you're not the God of Muslims, you're not the God of Hindus. You are the God of everyone, and Lord, I'll trust you until my last dying breath. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Pushing boundaries, bro. L with the 14. Thank you, brother. Awesome idea. No one interacts as much as with you, or as you with chats. I think, bro, I think that'd be cool, man. Get people to get in the voice chat, state a little case. I'm sure there'll be some people, because I know people were feeling that, like feeling some type of way on the birthday stream. Some people were saying that they were too nervous to get into the voice chat. Look, to those of you guys that think it's cool, but you're too nervous to talk on stream, bro, listen, no one cares about your voice as much as you think they do. I feel like that's the best way, L, and just chat, for people to like combat what do you call it, when you are nervous about yourself, when you doubt yourself, when you're self something. Why am I forgetting all these words lately? What do you call it when you're when like you doubt yourself and you're like nervous and you feel awkward? Yeah, insecurity. Thank you, Vincent. Bro, the best way to combat insecurity, at least for me, is realizing that people do not care about your hair or your voice or your shoes or whatever as much as you think they do. Like, when we get self-conscious, yeah, that too. Thank you, Dawn of Ascension. Wow. Like, for me, when I used to be super self-conscious when I was younger, it's because I would always be thinking like, oh, all these guys are going to stare at my hair. They're going to listen to my voice and they're going to think, oh, this is weird and that is weird. Yo, when you realize that other people aren't so invested into every little thing about you, that'll be the best way to combat like insecurity and self-consciousness. Trust me, to any of you younger people in chat, take that up and think about that. It's a great way to combat that, because who wants to be self-conscious and nervous all the time? It kills the joy of life. But L, I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. We got to do it, man. Why did you have to say Jews first? Look, God above all, okay? Simon with the 279. We got, you see, we got a strong start to the stream, man. We got okay with the membership. We got L with the membership. 14 months. This man has over a year. And then we got Simon with the 2. After Pray, can you check Discord? It's related. Yes, let me check Discord, and then we're gonna hop into the spoilers. Is it in a general chat? Yo, yo, this is fire. Yo, look at what Simon, you posted this? Yo, do you guys see this? Yo, you got me. Is that Sway? Or, I mean, yeah, Sway Shocks. Is that... No, that's... Bro, is this Johan? This gotta be Johan. It's Johan, right? Macau Jordan, Blackbeard Propagandist, OP Fanatic, Young Smokey, L, Amuni, Lucas, Ton of Ascension. Yo, this is the greatest meme someone has ever made regarding this chat, hands down. You got Greg over here on the right. Oh my, yo, this is hilarious. Yo, I am saving this. I am saving this, bro. I will never lose this image. I will have this image saved on every device of mine. Bro, wait, this is Sway, right? Can we name them all? This is Sway. Is this Johan? This is Johan, right? This one. That's Johan, right, chat? Johan. Then it was Jordan, Macau Jordan, right? Then it's oh, what's good, Jordan, by the way? What's good, bro? We got OP Fanatic, Blackbeard Propagandist, Smokey, L. Bro, L's profile picture is like so iconic, bro. Like it just has like that iconic like aura behind it. I got a Mooney, I got the Black Law. We got our boy Lucas with the straw hat. Evil community wallpaper, bro. I love it. I'm here for it. We got the beautiful Dawn of Ascension. Who is the dog again? Oh, Simon. Oh, Simon. Yeah. Bro, sometimes when like I see someone in chat with a picture that I can't immediately like interpret with my brain, I just never understand it until I actually look at what the picture is. So Simon, now when I actually pay attention to what your picture is, I guess it's your dog, right? Yeah. Now I'll remember it. L has the Will of Gengar. Yeah, Will of Gengar, bro. And then we got Greg. Yo, this man actually put like some of the biggest legends on this. Everyone here is certified. Like, don't get me wrong, there's more people in chat that are like certified legends, like Vizwa. He's been here for a long time. Wizdro, you're climbing the ladder. Mind Hacks. So I would put Vizwa. I would put Mind Hacks. Zedeko, what's good, brother? How you doing, Zedeko? Eli said, can I be Judas? Yo, guys, can we just get some W's in chat? Can we just get some 07s, get some salutes for our boy Simon for making this? This is actually hilarious. Yo, let's get some Wyman. Let's get some Wymans in chat. Yeah, PB&J, man. You've been supporting for a while. Got to get Eli in here. Oh, that's crazy, Eli. They put a Mooney before they put you, my boy. Eli, you got to change your YouTube picture, bro. You just got the P. This man, Eli, said he's pushing P. All right, guys, listen, enough. Enough of the delay. I believe it's time. It is time. One Piece Chapter 1137. Short summary spoilers. We are here to dive into these spoilers and see what makes it so peak. As always, guys, we are going to go through the spoilers point by point. We're not going to rush through it. We're not going to read point. We're going to read each point. We're going to react to each point. We're going to enjoy our food little bite by bite. Okay, we're not going to throw the whole plate of food down our throat. We're going to enjoy these spoilers point by point. So guys, understand that. I'm going to read a point. We're all going to talk about the point. We're going to give our full-fledged thoughts. Then we'll go on to the next point. Okay, so if I'm talking about a point and I say something, I make a theory or a prediction or something, and it's wrong because of the next point, Now you understand, okay? We're gonna go point by point. I'm excited, guys. Drop a like on the stream, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, hit the notification bell so you don't miss future streams and content. I'm excited, guys. Chapter 1137, Shamrock shows up. Shamrock. So Shamrock, like the 4-leaf clover, right? Like the seasonal drink at like McDonald's, Starbucks. Shamrock, guys, a shamrock, is that what you call a 4-leaf clover? Like, what exactly is shamrock? Because when I think shamrock, I think like 4-leaf clover. Wait, no, it's a 3-leaf clover, Jordan. It's a 3-leaf clover. So what's the difference between a 4-leaf and a 3-leaf? Oh, look, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. But so what's the difference between a 3-leaf shamrock, but then the 4-leaf? So a 4-leaf clover is, okay, 4 is rare, 3 is normal. So if there's a character named Shamrock, is there gonna be a character that has something to do with a 4-leaf clover? Professor Clover. Shamrock, a 3-leaf clover. Wait, Professor Clover. Yo, is this gonna have something to do with Clover? Oh wait, I forgot. His name is Cloud D Clover. I forgot about that. This dude's name is Cloud D Clover. Yo, wait, Shamrock. Wait, my boy's a Shamrock. My boy is a Shamrock. He's a 3-leaf. He's literally a Shamrock. 3-leaf clover. His name is Clover. Wait. This chapter has something to do with Clover? Figurlins are the rulers of the Tontatas? Oh, does that mean that the Figurlins have something to do with Dressrosa? Or do the Figurlins have something to do with the origins of the Tontatas? Because we read that the Tontatas, they were from somewhere. It's unclear where they're from, but they left and migrated to Dressrosa. Are you saying that, are you saying that the Figurlins, they're tied to the Tontatas because of Dressrosa? Or the Figurlins are tied to the Tontatas because of before Dressrosa? Yo, our boy Clover, Shamrock Clover. Okay. Hey, that's my take right now. The Shamrock title has something to do with Clover. Cover story. Okay, I don't even care about this cover story, but whatever, dude. Oh, guys, who watched the inauguration yesterday? Yo, who saw the inauguration? There were moments where everyone would, like, most people, at least, not everyone, most people would stand up, right? They would stand up, try to do the little standing ovation. But there's always a few people sitting down, you know? There are always a few people sitting down, especially Kamala. She only stood once. The only time there was an entire standing ovation where even Kamala stood up during Trump's speech was when? Israel. Of course. Oy vey. Like, every time Trump would, like, make a statement, she wouldn't even clap. She would just sit there looking angry, right? No claps. No standing. And then the moment he says, we need to bring back the hostages from Israel. We need to do it. Now she wants to stand up and start clapping. Bro, what about the Palestinians, dude? And then they turned around and they had a rabbi. Hey, rabbi, what you doing? They had a rabbi pray for the country. Like, bro, you literally went from talking about God and Jesus to turning around and having a rabbi pray. What? Somehow linking it with the name Shamrock, Lucas gives me the idea of linking it with leprechauns. Ooh, a leprechaun. Yeah, so a leprechaun would be connected to Tontatas. Hey, that boy L. Yeah, that man Trump made some strong promises. I don't know, when I was watching it, because here's the thing, I'm very well aware that politicians, they're all grifters. Every single politician is a grifter, right? They all act a certain way and say certain things for the people, right? They have to put on a persona. They all wear a mask. At the same time, I felt like Trump was very serious. Like, the moment he, like, got on the stage and started, you know, saying what he's going to do this term, he seemed extremely serious, you know? Like, he wasn't even smiling during his speech. Like, he seemed like he's not playing any games. I think local rabbi and priests should have a physical showdown, and whoever wins gets to preach in that region. Yo, that's not fair. How am I supposed to fight off a dude pumped off adrenochrome? Funniest part was MLK LARPer. Are you talking about the that one, the black Christian guy who was like super charismatic? The freedom of our people. Hey, I gotta give it to him, or just I guess like them, like, you know, the people of that kind of like vibe, like, you know, they're like on fire for the Lord, you know. You can just feel the passion, you know. You gotta respect it. What do I think about TikTok ban? I mean, you know, this country's going down. Listen. Let's focus on the spoilers. I'll answer that, but we'll go back to the spoilers. I think it's just funny how this country will ban TikTok before it bans OnlyFans. I think it's funny this country will ban TikTok before it bans Cornhub. I think it's funny how this country will ban TikTok before it bans XNXX. This country will ban TikTok before it bans Tinder. This country will ban TikTok before it bans Grindr. You know why? Because this country is sinful, degenerate, filthy, and nasty. When I hear Shamrock, I think of Celtic mythology. Perhaps the powers of the Firland family has ties to Irish gods. Man, we're gonna get all that kind of European stuff in Elbaf, bro. Certainly, all the Scandinavian stuff, all the Norse stuff, Vikings, leprechauns. What's good, Cuneo? What's good, Mario? Dang, I just got here and you cooking? Hey, it's true. We're gonna allow kids to access these corn sites, right? Any kid could just click accept and go on and look at corn and just have their brain completely like perverted. But then we ban TikTok. This country's pathetic. And you know the real reason why. The real reason why they banned TikTok is because everyone started to see the genocide of Palestine. So people began to rebel and started to question Israel. And, you know, America can't have that. Because when it comes to America, we got to serve our masters. We serve the masters that are over there in Israel. They're our greatest ally ever. Never mind the USS Liberty, oy vey. We don't talk about the USS Liberty. We can't talk about that. No. Don't talk about that. The Lavon affair. We don't talk about the Lavon affair. We can't let the American people know about that one. The Apollo affair, 1965, oy vey. America and Europe is Marijwa? Bro, Israel's Marijwa. It's literally the Holy Land, dude. Weren't you a corn star? Yo, that... Hey, who here gets the reference from L? Who here gets the reference from our boy L? He asked in chat, weren't you a corn star? Who here is a longtime viewer that gets the reference? Ah, man. Yeah, that black Christian guy was dope with passion, but watching other people cringe to it was funny. Yeah. I mean, wasn't this when someone came up to you and offered you? Yes. Okay. You passed the test. You passed the test with flying colors. All right, guys. Anyways, first... We didn't even read, bro, I said cover story and I didn't even read the cover story point. We get distracted so bad. I didn't even read the cover story point and I just don't care for it. 2, on and off to long time lurker, fill in on the lore. Hey, someone fill in Wizdro on the lore. It seems like a number of you got the lore. All right, cover story. Yamato's team infiltrates in Who's base, okay? I don't really care. Who's going to be in Who's base? You know what's interesting, chat? How did Oda write in this whole Nika thing with Who's Who and then just completely abandon it? Am I the only one that thinks that was like really strange? Like that was really weird? He's like, hey, Jinbei, I know about you. I won't tell you how I know about you in Impel Down. There's a certain person that we, you know, was in between us. We had a certain mutual, right? And I learned about Nika and then they disappeared. And then boom, the conversation was over. It's like, what? Like you would think that Oda would have talked about like what time frame that took place in, who that mutual friend was, who the missing guard was. My theory is that the mutual person was Arlong, and I have a video about that. Hey, To long-time viewers, I'll be extremely impressed if you guys remember that video. Or was it Arlong? I think it was Arlong. It was when I made that video years ago. I made a video talking about how Arlong was the middleman between Jinbei and Who's Who, where basically when Jinbei went to free Arlong, that's when he interacted with Who's Who. Hey, I think it's an amazing take. But you know what's funny? Is Oda's never going to go back to it. I highly doubt Oda's going to take the time to explain why it is that Jinbei ran into Who's Who in prison, you know? I think it's because when Jinbei went to go free Arlong, that's when he interacted with Who's Who. But who knows? Maybe somehow this cover story is going to fill in some blanks. I don't really know. Shout out to my boy Evil. Tuned in from the UK. Yo, everyone drop your country. Ram, what's good, bro? Ram Wavy. Everyone drop your country, man. Drop your country in chat. Where you guys from? If you guys are from the US and you guys don't mind, drop your state. Where you guys from, chat? Where is everybody from? And before we see Who's Who having a shrine to Nika in his house, that would be wild. Jordan, that would be wild, bro. I won't lie. Who's Who having a whole Nika shrine in his base? Hey, that's crazy. What's good, Yigum? Welcome back, brother. Michigan, India, Jersey. Where else, man? We need more. We need more, chat. You know we're East Coast USA over here. Oh, Brazil. What's good, Pedro? Virginia. See, we got people all over, man. I think, is it mostly, I'm pretty sure this chat is like mostly USA. What's good, Ashim? Nepal. Delaware. Glad to see you, bro. Appreciate you being here, Yigam. He would be on his Helga Pataki type shrine. What's that? Helga Pataki. What is that? Poland. Shout out to Poland, man. Yo, that dude running for presidency in Poland, that man is ultra based. What's that dude's name? Thomas? That dude's name, what's the dude's name? He has like the beard. He's talking about how they need to hold down Poland and it needs to be for the Polish. That dude is based. We got L with the 2. Thank you, brother. God bless you, man. Oda puts less details nowadays. Rushing for ending? I don't know. I feel like when you say less details, do you mean drawing, like artistic details? Or do you mean like plot details? What do you mean exactly? Hell / Los Angeles with the fires. What's good, Kai? What's good, Diago? London. What's good, Happy D? Canada and California. Man, chat, I'm praying for all of you out there in California, man. How bad is it? Like L and Kai. Is it real bad, or is MSM gassing it up? I'd imagine it's actually really, really bad. Can you guys confirm, Kai and L? Because you guys are there. You guys see it firsthand. Is mainstream media gassing it up, or is it truly like that bad? Hey Arnold reference? What's good, Michelangelo? Welcome back, King. Story, Zoro's backstory. You know, L, it's kind of weird because, you know, sometimes, you know, throughout the story, you might see a certain character or arc or something that might seem rushed because it doesn't have as many details as you would like it to have. So when we take into account like previous arcs, previous backstories and characters in the story, you can see how like there might be things back then that we perceive as rushed that we receive right now that we perceive as rushed. So like if we feel that the story right now is being rushed because it's missing details that we would like to see, again, we have to question things in the story that seems rushed, because then that would just mean that Oda has been consistently rushing the story, and that him rushing the story isn't new. Me personally, I don't know if I entirely feel like he's rushing it, because we also have to understand, guys, is that at some point we have to know who Vegapunk is. At some point we have to know the Gorsei's monster forms. You know, at some point we have to have mysteries and questions answered. So now we're reaching that point, right? We're getting the answers to certain questions and certain mysteries. So that would inevitably make us feel like Oda's rushing the story, even though this was supposed to happen. I don't know entirely if I feel that the story's being rushed, but what do you guys think? What do you guys think? You guys think the story's being rushed? Yes or no? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Air quality feels like poop. Space laser fire. I think it was due. Oh, directed energy weapons. Is that what you're talking about, Lucas? Do direct energy weapons. 222. I heard they caught the guy who started it all. No way. I thought they were gonna go down the path or the route that like the LA fires are natural. There's actually they could prove that a guy started it. In a sense, maybe because people wanted him to rush the story. I mean, Eric, at the end of the day, people know in the core of their heart, they don't want Oda to rush, bro. Like, how would you, as a One Piece fan, like truly, like when you really think about it, at the core of your heart, in the core of your heart, why would you want Oda to rush the story? Because you got to understand, once Oda writes a chapter, there's no going back. That chapter is that chapter, and it can never be changed, right? The only thing Oda can do is write another chapter afterwards and somehow tied into the previous chapter. I think it's important for Oda to not rush. Once he makes the story and he puts these chapters out, there's no turning back, right? It's permanent. So I think Oda needs to carefully do every chapter, and I think he does do every chapter carefully. And then One Piece will end. Once One Piece ends, there's no turning back. I don't think Oda wants to live a life or end his life thinking about like, man, I really wish I did that in One Piece. Man, I really wish I did this in One Piece. I think Oda is self-aware and he doesn't want to be in that position. So that's probably one of the biggest reasons why he takes his time. That would be a reason, obviously, Shueisha and the editors milking One Piece as much as possible for sales. Money. That's what it really comes down to. But in Oda's eyes, in his heart, I'd imagine, this is just my prediction, that he knows it's permanent. Once he writes One Piece, once he publishes a chapter and it's out, there's no turning back. So he has to carefully calculate each chapter. And I don't know, maybe sometimes he has to think to himself, hey, I love giving characters full-fledged backstories. Hey, I love adding a bunch of side details for this event and like this island. I love giving extra lore, but how could I possibly do that in every single scenario? We'll never end the story and we'll get too sidetracked and it won't even amount to anything. He probably has like this mental scale. Like, if I talk more about this guy's backstory, does that do anything for the plot? Does it do anything for the legacy of One Piece? And he probably has to weigh it. He has to put it on a scale in his mind, because he can't spend forever talking about every single island with every single period, like every era of that island and every single character's backstory and how this person in the character's backstory needs their own backstory. He probably has like this whole scale in his head where he's like, listen, if this thing in One Piece is at least like a 6 out of 10, I'll write some details into it. And then if it's like an 8 out of 10, it won't be an SBS, it'll be an actual manga. He has to scale these things out. Otherwise, One Piece will just go on infinitely, you know? If he was rushing, he would have skipped Elbaf. Oh, hell no. If Oda skipped Elbaf, I promise you, that would be probably the worst thing he could ever do. Oda skipping Elbaf would be probably the worst decision he could. I can't think of something worse. It would have to be something like out of this world, like Zoro dying, right? Like if Zoro died right now and then we went through the story without Zoro, which which isn't even like realistic, right? But Oda skipping Elbaf, bro, that would be a gigantic problem. I'm pretty sure 99% of One Piece fans will be pissed, bro. Nah, you're right though. Fire could have been some space laser stuff. Yeah, what's that? The congresswoman's name? Marjorie Taylor Greene, MGT or MTG? Wasn't she pushing the Jewish space lasers? All right, guys, listen. First point of the spoilers. Luffy's group arrives at an abandoned shrine full of giant skeletons who died when Loki killed King Harold. Only Loki and Ja Rule survived that incident. Guys, listen. My blue ball prediction is going to be true. Is this abandoned castle the same one that the Holy Knights were at? You guys remember how The Holy Knights, they first appeared at a castle. There was a throne, but then the Holy Knights left the castle and they went to Loki. Is this that castle, chat? Is this that castle? Because if it is, my prediction is going to be right. The Holy Knights are going to leave Loki by the time Luffy, Zoro, Nami reach the Holy Knights. Oda will not allow Luffy, Nami, Zoro to see those Holy Knights face to face right now. I'm calling it. Oda's gonna blue ball. We're all gonna be excited. We're all gonna think, oh, Luffy, Zoro, Nami, they're about to run into the Holy Knights. Those two Holy Knights, they're about to be face to face with the Straw Hats. Oda's gonna blue ball. He's gonna have Loki disappear, or the Holy Knights leave, or the Straw Hats run a different direction. Watch. They're not gonna run face to face. And if I'm wrong, hey, I'll happily admit I'm wrong. But Oda is the king of blue balling. And really? Jordan, really? I think it is, bro. Luffy's group arrives at an abandoned castle. Now, look, when we saw the Holy Knights appear on Elbaf, it looked like they were at a castle, right? And it even had a throne on it, or in it, I should say. You don't think that's the same throne? Vagabond. Yo, who here has read Vagabond? What does blue ball mean? Blue ball is basically teasing. Like, Oda will constantly tease the fans, right? Oda will hype you up for something and just spend a decade, spend 10,000 years building it up before he shows you. He'll make it seem like he's about to reveal something, then he doesn't. Then he'll make it seem like he's about to reveal it, then he doesn't. Like, just consistently teasing you. But I want to fact check, bro. I'm pretty sure those Holy Knights. What chapter was it, guys? Can anyone tell me? Was it 1132 or 1134? It might be 1130. Yeah. So this, right? Look, 1134. The Holy Knights are in a castle, right? They're in a castle, right? Then we see when they're in the castle, there's even a throne. And this looks abandoned to me, bro. This is an abandoned castle. I think this is where the Straw Hats are. Like, the Straw Hats, Luffy, Nami, Zoro, they're switching places with these Holy Knights. And the Holy Knights started in the castle, and they went to Loki. The Straw Hats started with Loki, now they're at the castle. And I think the reason Oda keeps having them switch places is because Oda is not gonna allow Luffy, Nami, and Zoro to run into these Holy Knights. He's gonna blue ball repeatedly. What do you guys think, chat? Are we cooking or are we not cooking?
Let him cook. Let him cook now.
It could be the same castle but in a different room. I mean, maybe. I'm not arguing that it's the same room per se. I'm just arguing this is the castle. Because then you also have to question, Jordan. You have to question, how many castles are there in Elbaf? Right? If Luffy, Nami, and Zoro are not in this castle, how many castles are in Elbaf then? You get what I'm saying? I'd imagine Elbaf has what, one castle? All right, guys, next point. Some of the skeletons have horns. Oh, is this a tie to oars? Is this a tie to oars? Some of the skeletons, which they just said the castle full of giant skeletons. So these huge skeletons have horns. Rhodes says it's because the giants had ancient giant blood. Oh, no. That's insane.
Let him cook now.
Ancient giant blood had horns. They were Onis. King Harold had horns too, but he broke them because he hates violence. Yo. Tied to oars. Oars is like the supreme ancient giant. Oars and Little Oars Jr. are the supreme ancient giants. Hey, I still stand on the idea that there is a secret Oars that we've never seen, and that the secret Oars had a child, which we now call Oars, the red one on Thriller Bark. The red Oars on Thriller Bark is actually Jr. And then Little Oars Jr., the green one, is actually Little Oars the third. That's why Little Oars Jr. has Oars 3 on the flag. It sounds more like your Gum Gum theory is becoming more and more accurate. When you say Gum Gum theory, do you mean Loki? Smokey! What's good, Smokey? How you doing, brother? By the way, guys, can someone here keep tabs on Pew Piece and OP Fanatic on Twitter? Can you guys keep tabs on Pew Piece or Scotch Informer? Just keep tabs on the leakers, because they might drop more spoilers separate from this. Sometimes leakers will post, like, in one tweet they'll give you one extra detail. Can someone keep eyes, please? I'll give you guys a shout out. Keep eyes on the leakers, you know, OP Fanatic, Pew Piece, Scotch Informer, Lily. Keep eyes on those leakers, so if they post a singular, like, one detail as a spoiler, we'll be able to catch it. But back to what you were saying, Vincent. As much as I like the idea of Loki having the gum fruit, not Nika, the gum fruit, I really like the idea of Loki having the Jormungandr devil fruit. What I would say for me is, if there was a gun to my head, I would say that Loki has the Jormungandr devil fruit. But if I was wrong and I had a second chance, I would instantly say he has the gum fruit. Like, that's my second in command. The Shanks is a rat agenda is officially dead today. Good, Smokey. I'm not at that part in the spoilers, but good. That Shanks being a rat, therefore being a problem, being an obstacle to Luffy. There's too many problems with that agenda. There's too many problems, and the reason that people want to go with that agenda is because they want to create a false dichotomy, a false dilemma. That's what they want to do. Shanks being against Luffy, like, nah, I'm not talking Shanks' brother. I'm not talking Shanks' clone. I'm not talking Shanks Seraphim, whatever the hell this other guy, other thing, entity is. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Shanks. Shanks being against Luffy has severe critical errors with the story. Spoilers for non-spoiled facts. Yes, that must be the meaning by which Usopp says oars in the last chapter. Wait, what did Usopp say about oars in the last chapter? The giants could be evolved from the Onis, the ones that are pure blood, keeps their horns still, I'm guessing. Yeah. So I agree with that. I think that a lot of these races in One Piece have a common ancestor, a common origin. They have a common ancestor, they have a common origin. It was probably like there was like a Oni race. There was like Onis. Is it Oni or Onis for plural? We'll just say Onis, whatever. There was Onis, and somehow their blood got diluted, which led into giants. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys think that Onis are the reason giants existed? Or do you think that Onis and giants existed side by side? I lean towards giants descended. The giants descend from Onis. Or do you guys think that they're separate, side by side? What do you guys think? L with the 2, thank you, brother. God bless you, brother. Loki has war god fruit, who some think is Nika. You know, well, the world serpent, wasn't he involved in wars, L? I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. Jormungandr, the world serpent, I'm pretty sure he was heavily tied into wars. And I'm not forcing this agenda. I'm not trying to shove the pill down your throat, pause. But I'm pretty sure he's tied into Ragnarok, is he not? Yeah, Ragnarok. Look at that. Ragnarok. So if Loki has the because here's the thing, right? We know in One Piece, characters always have the persona of their devil fruit. True or false? I want every single person here to answer this question. True or false? Every character in One Piece has a personality that fits their devil fruit. True or false? 1 for true, 2 for false. True or false? Every character in One Piece has a devil fruit that fits their personality. True or false? Jordan says true. We need more answers. Guys, stop lurking. Like the stream and comment. True. Okay, so you grant that. Okay, we grant that. Every character in One Piece that has a fruit, their fruit fits their persona. Okay? Now, if Loki's personality is destruction, and he literally said he wants to destroy the world, doesn't the Jormungandr fit that? The Jormungandr is the world serpent destroying the world. Look at this. During Ragnarok, which is a war, Thor and Jormungandr will fight each other to death. If Loki has the Jormungandr devil fruit, that fits his persona, chef's kiss. And shout out to everybody in chat that's been putting ideas, putting evidences and proofs for the Jormungandr theory, such as King J. King J, shout out to King J. He was one of the guys that helped spearhead this. I'm 100% on the agenda. If this is wrong, I believe my second in command is Loki having Gum Gum devil fruit. But for me, I think the Jormungandr is the best option. It fits his personality. You also have to think, again, we know I've said this a million times. You guys are probably tired of hearing it. At the end of the Egghead Island arc, they explicitly said that when they saw Joy Boy, or I guess the ancient people of Elbaf, when they saw Joy Boy, they compared Joy Boy to Nika, because Nika's before Joy Boy. Nika is the precursor of Joy Boy. Not only that, but they said that they compared him to Nika in the first place because he could stretch and contract. Jormungandr is a serpent. It's a snake, or I guess is the serpent, the snake, a world serpent. Stretching, contracting, that's a snake, dude. So it would make sense that he would think that he's Nika. Loki would think he's the god, because all he knows is that Nika can stretch and contract. They never explicitly said, if I'm not misunderstanding, if I'm not mistaken, they never explicitly said that Nika was rubber. If I'm not mistaken, they only said that Nika could stretch and contract, but they never said because of rubber. And you guys can fact check me on that. Use the official translations. Fact check me on that. Does the Jormungandr fit Loki being a trickster and tsundere? Yeah, so here's the thing, right? Loki being a trickster, being cunning and stuff like that, I think that just derives from Loki in Norse mythology. And I called this, I'm sure a lot of people predicted this or expected this, where Loki, as a One Piece character, is going to take inspiration from multiple things in real life. Just like how Luffy takes inspiration from multiple things in real life. Same thing with Blackbeard. Blackbeard, as a One Piece character, takes inspiration from multiple things. So I think when it comes to Loki in One Piece, he takes inspiration from Loki in Norse mythology and Jormungandr. So when we talk about Loki being a trickster, being cunning and a liar, I think that fits Loki in Norse mythology. But then this idea of trying to kill everybody, killing his own father, destroying the world serpent. And guys, I actually need some help. Guys, in the Little Garden arc, we know that Dory and Bragi mentioned that they couldn't like take out the snake in blood. They couldn't destroy the snake in blood or something like that. Does anyone remember what chapter that was, or can anyone figure it out? I got an argument. What's good, random YouTube user? I got an argument that confirms your theory. When we saw Dory and Bragi at the end of Little Garden, they said the only one they can't defeat is the red snake. Exactly. That's exactly what I just said. Yo, random YouTube user. Me and you, bro, we're on the same wavelength, bro. Where I'm like shooting. We got like this electrical frequency going between each other. That's exactly what I just said. Random YouTube user or anyone in the chat, if you guys can find that chapter, I would appreciate it tremendously. I know, again, it was in Elbaf. I don't know what chapter it was though, and I don't really want to go through every single chapter right now. You know, I want to try to stay on topic with the spoilers. But previous user of Boa's fruit solidified the serpent, or saw. I know what you mean, Wisdro. Turn him into stone. That'd be pretty interesting. Wisdro, that's one of those kinds of theories or takes that it sounds very interesting, and like I'm intrigued, but I can't think of anything to like bolster the theory, you know? Imagine like the red line itself was turned into stone by Boa. Although I'm not entirely sure how realistic that would be, because the red line is literally a mountain and it goes across the entire planet. That's a pretty ginormous, gigantimous object. Rashad, what's good, brother? What's good, King? That's why Blackbeard was interested, no? I think Oda might have alluded to the idea that Blackbeard wants to unstone someone. Unsolidify? How would you even say that? If Blackbeard wanted to remove someone from stone, would you say he would unstone them? Unsolidify them? What would you even, how would you even word that? Vincent says it's chapter 129, page 7 of 22. Vincent, if you are on the money, you're going to get a shout out and the entire chat has to give you a W. We're going to all spam Vincent. I love when people can tell me, listen, what you're looking for is on this chapter in this page. You went above and beyond. You told me page 7. That is, you made it so convenient. Let's see if Vincent is right, guys. He said, okay, we're on chapter 129, and he said page 7. We're on page 7. The only thing we can't pierce is a snake soaked in blood. A. Vincent. Can we get some W's in chat? Can we get some salutes in chat for Vincent? This is exactly what I was talking about. This snake soaked in blood is Loki. This snake soaked in blood is Loki, the Jormungandr. Shout out to our boy random YouTube user. You and I were thinking the same thing. And of course, shout out to Vincent. We're going to call him Vincent for coming through with the citation. This is official translations, guys. Official translations. The only thing we can't pierce is a snake soaked in blood. That is a direct reference to Jormungandr. And when you think about how they literally said in the Elbaf arc that everyone had to come together, all the giants had to come together to restrain Loki. Yeah, it makes perfect sense that they would turn around, Dorian Boggy would turn around and be like, yeah, Luffy, the only thing we can't pierce is a snake soaked in blood, directly referencing Loki, the Jormungandr devil fruit. And the Jormungandr devil fruit, he can stretch and contract because it's a serpent, it's a snake. That's why Loki thinks he's Nika. Amazing, amazing. World Boss, how's it going, brother? Cuneo, what's good, brother? Diago, what's good, brother? What about Loki laugh do ga ga ga? Yeah, that's a good point. I really think that one of the most underrated things in One Piece when it comes to theory crafting is characters laugh. We see how a lot of characters, their laugh fits their persona. It tells us something about the character. Now, in terms of Loki's laughter, I personally don't know what to make of it. If you guys have any ideas on what to make of Loki's laughter, comment down below. What do you guys think? I don't really know what to make of it, but I'm curious to see what you guys think. I don't know if do ga 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 or do ga translates to a certain word or certain phrase in Japanese, but let me know, guys. Let me know. Thank you so much, Vincent, for coming through with the citation. All right, guys, next point of the spoilers. Next point. Oh, and then obviously, guys, King Harold going to the efforts of breaking his horns because he hates violence is further proving that King Harold is a good guy, but Loki doesn't care and he killed him anyways. Okay, so this is further bolstering the idea that Loki is not quote unquote good. Now, I'm not saying that Loki can't be good because of Oda introducing new information. I'm just saying right now, if you look at the facts, Loki is not a good person and he killed his father. He killed a good king that hated violence, that wanted unity and peace. Loki's a bad guy and he's probably going to be an antagonist. He's probably going to be the reason of a huge battle on the Elbaf island. Now, yes, there is a possibility that by the end of this arc, Loki will be a good guy and he'll be on our team and he will support the Straw Hats and he will be an ally. Yes, is that possible? Of course that's possible, but that's only going to happen with new information. Because if we look at the facts of One Piece, if we look at all of the things we know to be true, everything that Oda's telling us, none of it points towards Loki being a good guy. So if Loki ends up being a good guy and he ends up being an ally, that's not because it was foreshadowed, it's because Oda put in new information. Nah, in my opinion, King Harold was probably manipulated by the world government. Keep reading. I saw a theory that Doga translates to Loki having Toon Force powers. Doga? I saw a theory that Doga translates to Loki having Toon powers. What? Toon powers in reality bending, like a true trickster. Dude, a giant as powerful as Loki, then getting Toon powers, that's broken, bro. That's broken. Loki's dead by the end of the arc? Loki didn't kill him. It's Shamrock. Wait, so Shamrock's the actual guy. Loki is good and bad? I don't know, man. If you killed your own dad, I don't think you're a great guy. Especially for, like, those reasons. Alright, guys, next point. Hiruden's mother was different from Loki's mother. Oh, okay, so Hiruden and Loki have different mothers. Okay, okay. So they have different mothers, but they have the same father. Yo, so King Harold is like Abraham. Yo, wait. King Harold is Abraham. Loki's mom is Hagar. So Loki is Ishmael. And then Hiruden is Isaac. Hiruden's mom is Sarah. Yo, chat. King Harold is Abraham. And that would mean that Loki is likened to Ishmael. And Hiruden is likened to Isaac. That's the theory, guys. That's the theory. King Harold is Abraham. Isaac is Hiruden. Ishmael is Loki. Was different from Loki's mother, and she couldn't be Elbaf's queen. There's a flashback about Kid Hiruden and Road. Okay. Yeah, Loki's mother couldn't be queen because she was like a slave. She was bound by flesh. She was a bond servant. She was a slave. But see, over here Isaac was of the promise of God. Yo, chat, that's hilarious, man. Gunko attacks Luffy and beasts from the underworld with arrow fruit powers. Wait. Gunko attacks Loki and beasts from... Okay, I misunderstood that. So Gunko attacks Loki and the beast of the underworld with the arrow fruit powers. Huh? So she has the arrow fruit. Interesting. But Loki still refuses to join the God Knights, the Holy Knights, and become a celestial dragon. Guys, what do we think, man? To me, this makes sense. Loki wants to destroy the world, rule Elbaf, and just do his own thing. Why would Loki join the Holy Knights? Isaac was the younger bro, like Loki. Ishmael was old. Oh, Will of Dreams. I didn't think of it like that. You make a good point if you're making a point about like their ages. I didn't think of it like that, Will of Dreams. Welcome in, by the way. That's a good point, Will of Dreams. That's a good point. But guys, yeah, I mean, again, Loki denying rejecting the opportunity to become a Holy Knight, that's sound. That makes sense because it doesn't fit his agenda, as Simon says. It doesn't fit his agenda. He wants to rule the world. He wants to destroy the world. He's on his timing. He has his plans. He's going by his will. He's not trying to join the Holy Knights. Now, guys, my question is what is this amounting to, right? Why is Oda having the Holy Knights offer Loki an invitation to the Holy Knights? Like, think about it this way. If Loki says no, and they're like, fine, okay, bye-bye, then the question is, well, what was the point of that? So what do you guys see as the purpose of this plot device? What is the point of the Holy Knights offering the position? Because this has to lead to something, right? There's a, not for the Holy Knights per se, but for the storyline. There is a reason Oda had to make the Holy Knights ask Loki to join them. The question is, why? How is that going to serve the plot line of the story? For me, I don't really know what to make of it right now. I don't think that the Holy Knights, these two guys, are going to kill Loki right now, at least. Maybe Luffy frees Loki, and then later on in the arc, you know, maybe during a big battle or during a war, the Holy Knights come back to Elbaf or something. Maybe they come back and then they kill him. You know, they think about like, hey, we were here earlier and you denied us. We're going to finish you off and kill you. You know, kind of like a Blackbeard thing, like I'm going to swoop in last second. They answer to your questions afterwards. Yeah. What we do here, I said this earlier, maybe you weren't here. We read point by point so we can truly digest the spoilers and take our time. It must be annoying being named Simon and having to hear people make references to Simon Says. Yeah, Lucas. Simon's probably so like bored and annoyed of that. He's probably like, man, I'm so tired of people saying the same joke. What's good, K9? Welcome back. What's good, Anthony? Loki's mom is queen. And so do we believe that Loki and Hirunen's mothers are alive? Or do we think that they're dead? Do we believe that Loki and Hirunen's mothers, like, they are alive? Or do we think that they're dead? There's a chat message. Where'd it go? Blackbeard, real Blackbeard propagandist. He says, you know how I know other OP YouTubers steal your chat's theories? You're the only one who covers the spoilers. Really? To fill position of Shamrock. What does that mean? They mentioned that Loki's mom died a year later after he was born last chapter. Did they? They mentioned that Loki's mother died the next year? Last chapter? 1136? Jordan, are you talking about 1136? When did they mention that last chapter? Actually, wait. I think I vaguely remember them mentioning that. I actually think I vaguely remember them mentioning that. Was it when Loki asked if, or Luffy? I think it's when Luffy asked if Loki was good. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. The country was beset by natural disasters, and the queen passed a year after giving birth to Loki. You're right. See, man, bro, One Piece just has there's just so many details, so many like variables, and just all this information, bro. It's very difficult to remember everything, you know? That's why I got you guys, chat. That's why I got you guys. What if that's why Loki killed King Harold to avenge his mother? You think Loki, or you think Harold killed the queen? So then Loki was like, nah, bro, I'm not gonna let you kill my mom and then kill the Harold? Because they need the power of oars to win the next upcoming war. They need the giants to finish the culling of the world, the so-called cleansing. All right, let's go on to the next point. The mystery man is Figureland Shamrock. Wait, mystery man. Wait, time out. Mystery man. Are they talking about this holy knight? Or are they talking about the dude walking around Elbaf with the shadow? Wait. The mystery man is Figureland Shamrock, the leader of the God Knights, and the son of Figureland Garling. He looks... Oh! It's over. It's all over. It's all over. It's all over. Shanks has a twin. Oh my, bro. Guys, it is all over. We've been talking about this since chapter 907. We've been talking about this since chapter 907. It's over. This is a historic. I don't think you guys understand. Can I get some W's in chat? Can we get some W's in chat? This is an historical. This is a historical moment. It has been confirmed that Shanks has a twin brother. Wow. Yo, this is legendary. Bro, all the Shanks is a rat jokes, all the theories. Does he have a clone? Is it his brother? Some people were saying it was a seraphim. S-rat. It's been confirmed. Shanks has a brother, and his name is Figureland Shamrock, the leader of the Gods Knights, and the son of Figureland Garling. He looks like Shanks, but with no scar and long hair. You know what? This confirms that Shanks is the son of Garling. If this guy, Figureland Shamrock, is literally just Shanks minus a scar, if they look the exact same way, then it must be the case that Shanks is the son of Garling. Do you guys agree with that? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Shanks is the son of Garling, not Shamrock. Well, I guess Shamrock as well, but Shanks is the son of Garling. If Garling and Shanks look the exact same, they must be twins. They are, of course, the sons of Garling. Oh, brother, yo, this is a historical moment. Says Smokey, this is a historical moment with the $10. Thank you, brother. God bless you, Smokey. The Shanks is a rat agenda is now dead. You know what? You know what? To all of you people that always try to say that Shanks was a rat, that he was a snake, that he was turning his back on Luffy, that you can't trust Shanks, and that he's a rat, he's evil, he works for the world government, you can't trust him, Luffy's gonna have to fight him, Shanks is gonna seal the One Piece. Your fate has been sealed. Admit that this is a Sigma Alpha Male Chad Uber Giga Chad. This is the one and only Shanks. You put respect on his name. He gave Luffy the Nika. He's protected Luffy. He saved Luffy in Marineford. He saved Kobe in Marineford. The one and only Shanks walks to the shores of islands, smiling and crying at the newspapers of Luffy getting a higher bounty, holding it down for Luffy, being proud of Luffy, loving Luffy, guiding and guarding Luffy. The one and only Shanks. Put respect on his name. It's over. Shanks being an evil character never made sense. It never did. It never did. How many streams did we spend talking about this? To people that watch the stream every week, you could co-sign this. How many times did I say over and over and over that Shanks being evil is one of the worst theories, and that when it's proven wrong, I will shove it in people's face? How many times? Smokey, L, Vizwa, Eli? How many times? I said it a million times. When Shanks is proven to not be evil, there's some kind of ulterior thing, there's some hidden detail that we're not privy to, that I was going to shove it in people's face. Thank you, Simon, plenty of times. This man being the enemy of Luffy, it makes no sense. It goes against critical things in One Piece. And you guys know I'm not lying. I did not read these spoilers before I went live today. I promise. God is watching me. God, strike me down if I'm lying. I did not read the spoilers today. And even today, during the stream, what did I say? There's no way this dude's gonna be evil. I literally said today, this stream, before we got to this point, that Shanks being evil is a critical error. There's too many problems that you have to face. Why would Shanks save people and end the war at Marineford? That makes no sense. That's one. Two, why would Shanks allow Luffy to walk around with the Nika fruit for all these years? That makes no sense. Three, Why is Shanks walking to the shores of islands, looking at Luffy's new bounty, looking at Luffy's new news, seeing Luffy progress in the world? Shanks is all alone. No one's with him. He's just on the shore of the island, looking at Luffy's progress, smiling and crying and proud of Luffy. That is extreme devotion to being fake. You know, if Shanks was actually fake and he was evil and he was putting on a mask, he's putting a lot of effort in, don't you think? That if he was actually against Luffy when no one's around him, he's proud of Luffy, he's happy. It makes no sense. Shanks being a good guy, fulfilling the will of Nika and the prophecies. Giga Chad, one of the greatest characters in manga history, hands down. Salute to our boy Shanks. He will go down as one of the greatest characters in One Piece, bro. And I'm so excited, man, guys. I'm so excited to see Shamrock, bro. Let's read the last point of the spoilers, and I'm gonna get to those super chats. Thank you so much for that, Smokey. You're 100% right. The Shanks is a rat agenda is now over. And final point of the spoilers, Shamrock and Gunko's mission is to join Elbaf to the world government by force. No break next week. Yo, I'm giving this chapter a 10 out of 10. You guys could call me, oh, you're glazing, bro. You're give it a 10 out of 10. You're such an Oda angel, bro. You guys always give the chapter a 10 out of 10. I don't care, bro. This chapter is a 10 out of 10. This is one of the greatest chapters we've had in a very long time. If this is the short summary, I can't imagine the long summary. I can't imagine the actual chapter. To me, this is a 10 out of 10 chapter. Chef's kiss, supreme. Oda marinated the dish. He marinated it. He basted it, he seasoned it, he let it simmer, he slow cooked it, and he's given us a beautiful, delicious 5-star dinner reservation, bro, with a chapter like this. Shanks twin confirmed. We know who he is. We have his name. We see their goal, why they're here. Oh, bro. So the Holy Knights are going to have a hand in the Elbaf War. Inevitably, there's going to be an Elbaf War. There's going to be an Elbaf mission. Amazing. What do you mean that's not what that means? Amazing. Smokey, this is a day to celebrate, man. Then we got L with the $10 super chat. Thank you, brother. God bless you, man. Let the Shanks apologies be as loud as the disrespect. How can Shanks be evil? Exactly. Yo, everyone's quiet right now, L. Hey, all you guys that swore Shanks was an evil guy, he was a rat. Where are you at? Where are you? I can't hear you guys. Where you at? Where you guys at? They're real quiet right now, L. Oh, they're real quiet. All the people that said, man, Shanks is a rat. I can't believe he spoke to the Gorosei about Luffy. He's going to go steal the One Piece from Luffy. And Luffy has to fight Shanks for the One Piece. Where you at? We're here. Hey, random YouTube user, you're gonna take a W with me on the Jormungandr, and you pointed out the detail of the serpent covered in blood. Listen, we're gonna take a W right there. But this Shanks' rat agenda is officially dead. It is in the ditch. It's over. It's over. It's over. And Smokey with the 20 bomb. Thank you, brother. God bless you, Smokey and El, the both of you. The Shanks is a rat agenda died today, January 21st, 2025. Tag your favorite Shanks hater. Who's my favorite Shanks hater? It has to be random YouTube user. Hey, random YouTube user, I crown you. I crown you as my favorite Shanks hater. You think that he's a rat? You know what? I couldn't disagree anymore. It just makes no sense. So I crown you, bro. Was joking, bro. I hate to admit it, but seems he is no rat. Hey, listen, random YouTube user. Listen, if you admit you're wrong, our respect for you doubles. Trust me. I highly respect people that admit they were wrong. Like, you guys have seen me. When my theories have been wrong, I'll tell you guys straight up on stream. Yo, look, I was wrong. That's that's maturity, man. So I respect you. Shout out to random YouTube user. I don't get all my theories right. I've had a lot of theories wrong. You know, miscalculations. I can't be Oda, but This is an amazing day, guys. This is an amazing day. Amazing day, bro. Anime Land, what's good, bro? Sorry, I'm gonna have to get to that in a second. Smokey with another 20 bomb. Thank you so much for the huge support, brother. Smokey says, by the way, this now means Shamrock was the one who met Gorosei, and the pirate he was talking about was recruiting Loki. Yo, keep it going. Smokey, keep it going. Keep it going. Now let me play a little devil's advocate. Smokey, young Smokey. Let me play a little devil's advocate for a second, okay, buddy? You hear me, brother? I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate for a second. Devil's advocate. Okay. We now know that Shanks has a twin, okay? And we know that this twin is named Shamrock. Awesome. Now we can call it, he actually has a name. Okay, great. Here's the thing. Can we automatically assume that can we automatically assume that Shamrock was the one in chapter 907? I would say that no, we cannot confirm that Shamrock was the character in 907 meeting with the Gorosei. That is not confirmed. But I would say that it is extremely reasonable. Okay? It is extremely reasonable. If you wanted to say, and guys, I'm putting bias aside. I'm being as logical and as fair as possible, okay? I'm not being biased with the whole Shanks is a rat agenda. I was right, you're wrong. I put the bias to the side. If you wanted to say, oh, well, technically evil, how can you say for sure that it's Shamrock in 907? I would say, no, it's not confirmed, but it's extremely unreasonable for that character in 907 to be Shanks. It is far more reasonable that Shamrock was the one in 907. That is far, far more reasonable. Way more reasonable. Considering that Shamrock works with the world's government in Holy Knights, it makes perfect sense he would then meet with the Gorosei, right? Furthermore, we know that Oda wanted us to believe that Shanks met with the Gorosei. So now if Oda reveals that Shamrock is a character and that we were wrong the whole time, it wasn't actually Shanks with the Gorosei, it was Shamrock with the Gorosei, that lines up. That's very reasonable. So what I would argue is it's not confirmed that Shamrock met with the Gorosei, but it's extremely, extremely reasonable. That's what I would say. Does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense? You cannot confirm, it is not confirmed that this character is Shamrock, but it is unbelievably more reasonable that this is Shamrock and not Shanks. Look at the bigger picture. We had Shanks warn Whitebeard about a pirate. That pirate was Blackbeard. Now, on the flip side, we have Shamrock warning the Gorosei about a pirate being Loki. And that's why Shamrock went to Elbaf. Ding, 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 ding. So no, it's not confirmed this man is Shamrock, but this is 1,000 times more reasonable than saying is Shanks. Does that clear it up, guys? Does that make sense? I'm putting all the bias aside. If you disagree, let me know from a logical point of view, what's wrong with that? But Smokey and L, it's a beautiful day. Smokey, I love that idea. Again, Shanks met with Whitebeard in pre-time skip to warn Whitebeard about a pirate named Blackbeard. On the flip side, in post-time skip, we have Shamrock meeting with the Gorosei to warn them about a pirate, that pirate being Loki. So then they turn around, they make a plan to go to Elbaf and meet up with Loki. That is beautiful. That is very sound. That is very reasonable. I love it. Thank you, Smokey, for the $20 super bomb. That lines up perfectly. It's not confirmed. But that seems extremely reasonable in my eyes. Now we got Simon with the 279. Thank you, brother. Will Shamrock have green hair? Retcon Gorosei me. Okay, guys, what do you think? Me personally, I think he'll have red hair. And yes, I get the point of him having green hair. You know, green for the Shamrock and like the little grass. I get it, but I don't necessarily think he has to have green hair. What do you guys think, chat? What color hair do you think Shamrock, the character, has? Red or green? I want to know. Do you guys think Shamrock has red hair or green hair? Because I mean, as Simon said, we already have the anime, right? I'm pretty sure in 907, like the anime for it, it was colored. Also, we have Oda officially colored the anime already. Does anyone have One Piece digitally colored? One Piece digitally. I think they might have shut down the website Manga.C because Manga.C had One Piece with the official coloring. I can't find Manga.C anymore. I'm pretty sure in the official coloring of One Piece manga, they gave Shamrock, they gave him red hair. This is the official coloring, guys. This is the official coloring of One Piece, and we can see that Shamrock has red hair. So again, in the official manga coloring, he has red hair, and in the anime, he has red hair. So I would say red hair, Simon. I would say red hair. And then, you know, not only like the physical coloring of his hair being red, not only would I use that, but I would also say when you think about all these mentions of red hair, that would further allude to the idea that Shamrock has red hair, because they would probably say red hair to how do I say this? Like if they wanted to reference Shamrock without saying Shamrock, and they wanted to make people think it was Shanks, they would say red hair because they have it in common. You get what I'm saying? So like with red hair meeting or fighting Kaido, it could have been Shamrock, right? Because funnily enough, we looked at this a few streams ago. It might have been last stream. We were looking at this. When they talk about Shanks fighting Kaido, they don't even say Shanks. They said red hair. Does anyone have the chapter? I would do anything to have physical copy of colored version. That'd be amazing. Probably when One Piece ends, they'll probably work on that. They'll probably do that. When One Piece is said and done, they'll probably come out with like the physical manga color. That would be, bro, that'd be amazing, man. Smokey said, update from OP Fanatic. He said Loki was knocked out after Gunko attack. Yeah, so thank you for letting me know. I don't actually think that that Loki will die right now. Guys, what do you think? Do you think these Holy Knights are actually gonna kill Loki right now? I don't think that he'll die right now. If the world government Holy Knights, if they end up killing Loki, it's probably later on in the arc. I don't think it would be right now. What's good, Karu? Wait, chat, are we lagging? What the hell's going on? Guys, are we live? Are we live, or is Twitter just not loading? To fill the position of Shamrock, so offering Loki to join God Knights, because Shamrock moved to head of God Knight. We're good? We're good? So it's just Twitter. Why? What the hell's going on with Twitter, bro? Such an bro, if you guys weren't here earlier in the stream, look at what Simon posted. This is such a hilarious, amazing meme. Smokey, I don't think you were here. We showed this at the beginning of the stream. You got me, right? Well, I'm doing some preaching. We got Sway Shocks. Is this Johan? I'm still trying to figure out. Is this Johan right here? What's good, Lee, every day? Welcome back, bro. We got Mikal Jordan, Door Handle, aka Blackbeard Propagandist, OP Fanatic, Young Smokey, L, Amuni, Lucas, Dawn of Ascension, Simon, Greg. What an amazing meme, bro. What an amazing meme. This is on my Discord if you guys want to see it yourself. Make a list of who else. Put Vizwa. Put Karu. I don't want to have too many people, you know. Put Vizwa. Put Karu. And put... we gotta have like the long time legends. I don't know. Hey, Stretch is kind of climbing the ladder. Maybe you gotta put Stretch. All right, but anyways, you said a new spoiler. Can anyone show me the spoiler? Because Twitter won't load. Can anyone screenshot it or something? Oh goodness, guys, we have so many tabs open. Okay, Loki is pretty much knocked out after Gunko's attack, and he is unable to move after her attack. Bro got smoked. Yo, the Holy Knights are smoking on that Loki pack. All right, you know what? I do believe, as I've said numerous times, like in a way, I do believe that Oda's gonna blue ball in the sense of the 3 Straw Hats not running into the Holy Knights right now. Like I did feel that sentiment, but now it's going down. Like now that Oda revealed that Shanks has a brother named Shamrock, now I actually do feel like Oda's gonna have Luffy run into Shamrock. Now that Oda gave us the name and showed us that he is Shanks with no scar, now I actually think that Luffy is going to run into Shamrock. And it's going to be such an interesting moment, bro. Luffy running into Shamrock, oh, that's going to be so crazy to see, man. Luffy's going to be like, hey, Shanks, is that you? Something's off about you. Like, he'll probably at first, Luffy will see Shanks and be like, wait, something's different. Something's off about you. Then after like a few seconds, he's going to be like, wait, where's your scar? You know? It'll probably be something like that. Like maybe right off the bat, Luffy doesn't recognize the scar missing. He'll be like, wait, something's off. Like there's something different. Then he'll notice, wait, where's the scar? So, probably something like that. L said, L with the 2, thank you, brother. God bless you. Please put me as Judas on the meme because I roast evil. Hey, you heard that, Simon? L wants to be Judas on the meme. Although, isn't that Plato actually? Let me see. Wait, was this Jesus? Or was this like philosophers? I think this was philosophers, like Greek philosophers. Am I supposed to be Plato? Yo, you gotta do brother, you got to do a version for Jesus, man. Although at the same time putting my face on Jesus, I don't know. That actually might be too far. Oh, it's St. Paul. Okay, cool. St. Paul, that's okay. Yeah, keep me on St. Paul. Well, actually, Judas wouldn't even be here. Yeah, that wouldn't really be possible because St. Paul didn't interact with Judas. Ah, man. L, unfortunate. Judas died before St. Paul, before Saul even became Paul. We got Young Smokey with a 5. Thank you so much, brother. I'll keep my eye on OP Fanatic and Pew Piece. If I see anything else, I'll put it in the Discord for you. Thank you so much, Smokey. Thank you so much, Smokey, keeping an eye on the new spoilers, because there's probably going to be new spoilers that drop. Guys, if you guys want to join Smokey, keeping an eye on leakers, making sure that we could catch new spoilers as soon as they drop, I would greatly appreciate that. And to those of you that want to join my Discord, I am about to put a link to my Discord server in the chat. I invite you guys to join my Discord server, okay? Join my Discord server. Dude, what the hell? What's good, 3-Day? Give me 1 second to read that. Invite people. Hidden use copy button. Copy. Right? Why does it... Bro, I try to post it and it says hidden use copy button. But I am using the copy button. Dude, what? Hidden use copy button. Do you... What is... Yo, Discord has to be broken right now. For the invite, hidden, use copy button. Okay, but then when I copy it and I paste it, what I'm pasting literally says hidden, use copy button. Bro, what? I can't invite people to my server? What? 3-day, welcome in. I don't know. Luffy followed fake Zoro and Sanji for a while. Oh, that's a good point. That's a great point, actually. Luffy followed fake Zoro and fake Sanji in the Return to Shabandi arc. That's a great point. Thank you, Young Smokey. Thank you so much for posting the Discord link. Guys, if you want to join my Discord server, it is pinned at the top of the chat. Feel free to join my Discord server, guys. What I want to do, guys, is I want to join right now. We're going to try this out for the first time, guys. We're going to do this for the very first time ever on stream, okay? What we're going to do is you guys are going to join my Discord server, okay? What we're going to do is I'm going to drag people one by one into a voice channel, okay? And you guys have to have a microphone. What we're going to do is you guys are going to use a microphone and you guys are going to say a One Piece theory, share your takes, share your controversial hot takes to the stream, okay? We're doing this for the first time. Again, join my Discord server, okay? You guys are going to join, there's a voice channel, okay? There's a voice channel called General, the voice channel, okay? You guys would join the voice channel and I will drag you guys one by one into a different voice channel where you guys will speak in voice, saying your theory, saying your take. We'll discuss it and debate it back and forth in front of the stream chat, okay? We're going to try this for the first time, okay? Let me just call this share. Well, let's keep it as share your theory, okay? So if you guys are down to do this, I want you guys, again, on my Discord server, there is a voice channel. Whoops. Hold on, chat. Hold on. Okay. There is a voice channel called General, okay? General. I want you guys to join the general chat, and I'm going to drag you guys one by one, and we're going to debate and discuss on stream, okay, chat? And if you need to join the Discord, the pin is at the top of the stream chat. But St. Eddie D. Charlos, thank you for the super, brother. Are we good? Do I pass the crooked test? Do I pass the test? We good? We good? Hey, come on. Hey, come on. I know I passed. Come on, I passed the test, bro. It's clean. It's perfect. Come on. Yes, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right. So I actually have to set up this voice channel properly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make this channel. You guys are not allowed to join the channel that I'm in. You guys are going to wait in the general voice chat. Okay. And I'm going to drag you guys into this voice channel one by one. And you guys are going to be able to use your voice, your microphone to speak. Okay. And you guys are going to speak in front of the stream. Okay. So it looks like we got one person waiting right now. Young Smokey. Okay. Hello, Mr. Smokey. Young Smokey, you there?
Yeah.
What's good, bro? I hear you clear, loud and clear. Welcome in, bro.
Yo, what's good? Hey, my One Piece theory is that L is emu because that stash check is diabolical.
Bro, your One Piece take is that L is emu because that crooked stash check is diabolical. You know what? I can't disagree with that because this man, ever since he started the agenda of the stash check, has never let it go. Every single stream, it has to be a stash check. And it all started from that one stream months ago where for some reason half of my mustache was super thin and then the other side was Just
Man, I've noticed as I get older, my beard starts having more like, scruff in it. It don't grow full, man.
man, we if only we were blessed with like perfect beard mustache genetics like Vikings, bro. You know, Vikings, they just have that full fledged beard.
Brother, I'm almost 34 with white hairs in my beard already.
No
I'm screwed.
way. Oh, bro, you're cooked. Wait, you're
I'm
30,
cooked.
34 with white hairs in your beard. Yo, you need to stop the stress. That's what it is.
They could just call me George Clooney though. So,
George Clooney,
they could call me a silver fox.
Silver Fox. Hey, I mean, bro, you might have to get to the point where you dye it. You might have to dye the beard.
No, but on a real note, like for me personally, sometimes it feels like the joy that's in One Piece, like the emotional investment that Oda has been cooking up for years and has built equity. Like I feel like through Wano, he missed so many emotional investments and payoffs. For example, Zoro going to Ryuma's grave, anything with Zoro's backstory. He could have done more with Kaido. But ever since then, like with Egghead, he built up the equity with Kuma and Egghead, and I feel like he wiped it out in the Elbaf, man. I don't know. I'm just truly on the fence. Like with Vegapunk coming back, Kuma potentially coming back. Vegapunk, I understand more because he has all the clones and stuff, but I don't know, man. Like I'm noticing something with Oda. It's still a very peak story, and he's a very peak author, but I'm seeing a lot of things getting recycled and rehashed where we could get new stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh no, my headset just died. You said rehashed and getting new stuff, and then my headset just died. Are you there?
Yeah,
Did
I'm
you
there.
say anything
You
after
heard
that?
the rest of it, though, right?
I heard everything up until the moment of you saying getting new stuff, and then my headset died.
Yeah.
Okay,
So basically, I was just saying it feels like Oda rehashes stuff
yeah.
sometimes, man.
Yeah, so in terms of like Oda missing out on great moments of emotion, I do agree and understand that sentiment. I mean, if you guys were reading weekly, right? We saw how Wano was being perceived, especially towards the end of the arc. There was a lot of hate. Everyone was hating on Wano. Everybody was saying that Oda fumbled Wano. It's the worst arc. And look at how the fan base, look at how the One Piece community felt about Kaido's backstory. Everyone hated it. And sure, there might be someone in chat that says, hey, I didn't hate it. Yeah, but you're 1 out of 10 people. I'm saying like the majority of OP fans, they all hated Kaido's backstory. We expected to see God Valley. We expected to see Roxy Zebek. What did we get? We had young Kaido at Vodka Kingdom. You know, a little bit of vague God Valley stuff or Rocks, the Rocks crew stuff. But the majority of One Piece fans, they were so let down with Kaido's backstory, and even I was when I was reacting to it at the time. So with Oda missing out on Kaido, I get that, but with Zoro, it's a little tricky because Zoro is a main character of One Piece, so you would expect that Oda would flesh out Zoro's backstory. But by the same token, Zoro is a very straightforward guy. He's not the kind of character that necessitates a full back-fledged history and this whole gigantic motivation that's very intricate. Zoro's mainly like straightforward, so I can understand one side that looks at him as a main character who's trying to become the world's strongest swordsman, and he doesn't have that much depth to Kuina. But then by the same token, like, does he need that depth?
Yeah. I completely understand what you're saying.
What do you think about that, though? We're on the same page, or?
Yeah. I think we're on the same page. I think. All right. So the point I wanted to bring up is, you remember in Kaido's flashback, right? At some point, when he's sitting in a room, the door's open. There's a figure with a hat, and I always thought that was Rox. Like, could Rox have had a straw hat just like Roger? Like, what is his connection to Roger, actually? Could they have actually been childhood friends? Could they have been family? Because Sengoku said that Rox was his greatest rival. So like I feel like when Roger went to God Valley to get up with Rocks, I feel like before then Rocks actually beat Roger once and took something from him.
Yeah, so that's interesting. I remember when the anime episode for that came out, if I'm not mistaken, the character with the hat actually spoke and it was a feminine voice. So that to me alluded that it was actually Big Mom that was wearing the hat. And that the
Okay.
silhouette gives the impression that it's a straw hat, but I think like depending on a certain angle, you know, a silhouette of like a hat could look like a straw hat. And you know, us reading One Piece, of course, like we're gonna jump to the conclusion it's a straw hat. I even did that, but someone could fact check me on this. In the anime episode for what you're referencing, it was a woman that spoke. If I'm, or was it a man? I thought it was a woman. See, I need to be fact checked.
See, I could have swore that the anime voice I think they made it sound like a man.
A man. See, I'm on the other side. I thought they made it sound like a woman. Does anyone know what episode that was? It's Kaido's backstory when he's in the Rocks crew and someone is standing there in a silhouette with like some type of straw hat. But in terms of because you also made a second point, Roger meeting Zebek, it does seem when you look at the grand scope of Roger's life, Roger took a different direction ever since God Valley. Like it seems like once Roger got to God Valley, he was more on the I need to circumnavigate the world, I need to find the poneglyphs vibe. So I think like through the God Valley incident, Roger realized that he needs the road poneglyphs. He needs the poneglyphs in order to get to that final island. Especially because, like, think about the moment where we had the Roger pirates. They were on an island. We see it in the anime, and their log
said 1076. That might have been the episode.
All right, bet I'll pull that up in 1 second. We know that when we saw the Roger Pirates get by Lodestar, they were trying to find the final island, and their log pose was spinning crazy. That was actually before the God Valley incident, and if I'm not mistaken, when the Rogers then finished the God Valley incident after that, now all of a sudden they're looking for poneglyphs. So I think
for sure. I gotta agree with you there.
Yeah,
I do think that Roger probably had hints of something was going on in the Void Century, but I don't think the crew at that time they were prepared to actually do anything about it. And then after God Valley, like you said, that's when Roger was like, "Oh wow, these guys are actually saying something. I got to record the true history, pass it on like my duty," because he eventually realized that he was too early. And I agree with you. I definitely think God Valley is what got him on the path to going to look for the poneglyphs. Because the way I always interpreted it, besides, you know, Roger and Gart, I mean, not Roger and Gart, but Roger and Sebek having a rivalry, I feel like that Roger went to God Valley because Sebek stole something from him. You know what I mean? Like, I already told you once, I think Sebek had beaten Roger once and took something from him. Because during that God Valley flashback, when we see Roger, does he have the hat on?
I don't remember actually, but before I could pull that up as well. I pulled up 1076. So let's look at the person, the silhouette with the hat, and then I'm gonna go to the question you just asked about Roger wearing the hat at God Valley.
Yeah.
Okay, it is a guy. Okay, it is a guy that spoke. Okay, so it wasn't a woman. Huh. You know what's interesting in the anime is I definitely don't get the vibe that they're wearing a straw hat. It's like very hard to see, you know? But when you look at the manga, doesn't it seem like they're wearing a straw hat?
I mean, because listen, bro, I'm looking at it on your screen right now where you got it up. So that silhouette, that is like a 1-to-1 of Luffy, man. Like when I look at that, I feel like I'm looking at Luffy with his cape, small, you know, top, you know, formation of the straw hat.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So I definitely, we've said it. I've heard you say it 1,000 times. I think Luffy you know, he may not have the will of rocks the same way that Blackbeard does, but I definitely think Luffy, by the end of this story, is going to pull from both great pirate captains, from Roger and Zebek.
Yeah, I mean, if Zebek was butting heads with the world government, it only makes sense that Luffy would be compared to Rocks in that way, because Luffy's obviously gonna take down the
Not
world
to
government.
mention, he's a D as well. So,
Yeah, I mean, they are a D, so they are connected in some certain way. Now, I don't know if you're necessarily alluding to the idea that Zebek is tied to Joy Boy and Nika, because I personally wouldn't go with that. I would say, like, Rocks D Zebek's lore, his persona is more so connected to D rather than like Joy Boy and Nika. What do you feel about that?
I feel like you're right, but let me pose this question. So the duality of Joy Boy and Nika, you know, some people view him as a creator, some people view him as a destroyer. I think we came to the conclusion that Luffy is a mix of both. He's going to encompass everything that everybody believes about Nika. So I feel like Rocks could have been like Loki. He could have went for the destruction aspect, but we still don't know enough. You're right.
You know,
You're right.
That you actually make me think, because you're pretty much pointing at this, that Loki, or not Loki, but I'm about to mention him, Zebek could have been trying to aim for Joy Boy. He could have tried to be Joy Boy or be Nika in the same way that Loki wants to be Nika. So it doesn't have to be a scenario, and you're not saying this, but it doesn't have to be a scenario where Zebek is or was Joy Boy, because I've seen people make that case. I've seen people make the case that there's been multiple Nikas, multiple Joy Boys, and that Zebek was one of them. I don't think that has to be the case. It could be the case where Zebek was a wannabe Joy Boy, a wannabe Nika, in the same way that Loki is a wannabe Joy Boy, a wannabe Nika. And funnily enough, Zebek, didn't he want to take over the world? He wanted to be king of the world. He wanted to essentially destroy the world and rule it. Well, that's similar to Loki. Loki wants to destroy the world. We've seen statements not only in One Piece, but in general media, that characters want to destroy the world and destroy everyone, destroy everything, so then they could build the world and they could be the king of the world.
Yeah. And that just harkens back to that quote I sent you the other stream, you know, talking about Beerus saying before creation comes destruction. So before Nika or Joy Boy can build the next world, he's got to destroy the old world. He's got to destroy everybody that's making everything shitty.
Yeah. And I mean, tying into that, Karu also just said, Arlong's sister said Luffy will destroy Fishman
Oh
Island.
yeah, Charlie did make that prediction, and when she gets predictions like that, she's always right. She's never wrong.
Yep.
And I was always led to believe when she saw that vision, and then we learned everything that we had to learn on Egghead, and Katrina Devon touched Saturn, I thought that was going to come into play. I thought Katrina Devon and the Blackbeards were going to set up a bomb or something, set up something catastrophic in Fishman Island, and have her change into Luffy, and Luffy take the blame. However, Luffy's already public enemy number one for the elimination of Vegapunk. So,
yeah.
And plus Saturn's dead. So could you imagine Katarina walking up into Marineford being like, oh, hey, I'm back.
Yeah, that's why I lean more. I've spoken on this before. I lean more towards the idea that when Katarina Devon masks herself as Saturn, she has to use it towards someone that's not aware of Saturn's death, right? And it sounds like you agree. Like, it wouldn't make sense for her to mask herself as Saturn in front of someone that knows Saturn is dead. It would make more sense if she masked, in terms of the plot line, the story, she would have to mask herself as Saturn in front of someone that doesn't know Saturn is dead, because if they knew Saturn was dead, it would backfire. Although, if you think about it, that would make for an interesting plot device where, again, she tries to be Saturn, but the person knows Saturn is dead, so then they have this awkward confrontation, like, wait, aren't you dead? And then, you know, she reveals herself and they start fighting. It's actually kind of, wow. Yeah.
You know, now that I think about it, as secretive as the Gorosei are supposed to be, quite a few kings know they exist, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, they don't pay too much attention to the Gorosei. When you look at the Reverie arc, it's mainly like, you know, these guys come in a whole bunch of kingdoms, 190, I think. No, 170, coming at a round table, debating and voting on things, but you don't really see them interact with the Gorosei too much. Like, there are a lot of kings that do know of the Gorosei, but they don't. Not all of them interact with the Gorosei completely.
Because each of the Gorosei, they're the figureheads of major departments, correct?
Right.
You know, you've got the Gorosei of science, military tech, weapons. You got the one that does the bounties. You got the one that does the environment. So, you know, you figured they got to be somewhat public to, you know, discuss with the kings and the officials.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I've stated this before. The Reverie, all right, let me back up. The One Piece world government is exactly alike to the United Nations. The United Nations in real life has
absolutely.
193 countries. The One Piece world government has 170 countries. You have the United Nations, they have 5 members of the Security Council. Those are permanent members that hold more power than the other people that attend the United Nations General Assembly. And then you look at the Gorosei, those are 5 permanent members that have more power than the people who attend the Reverie. And just the idea of a Reverie where they meet up every few years to discuss new laws and new agendas is exactly alike to the United Nations General Assembly. So I think it's really interesting that Oda decided to add Imu, who would be a step above the 5 Security Council members. So his idea of making the One Piece world government very similar to the United Nations is he's trying to tell us as readers that the 5 Gorosei having someone leading them would be like in real life, the United Nations, their 5 Security Council members, the permanent members, actually have people or someone that answers to them, and they essentially control the world. I don't even know why I brought this up, but
No. It's
Did
good.
you say
It's
something?
good because you're right. You're right. I like it. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I guess for me is I'm ready to see if Emu's got them things I like that Robin's got. You know what I mean? I need Emu to be a woman.
Hey, chat, is Emu a woman with melons, or is it a dude with melons in a different way? I need to know. Hey, Mike Super, though. Mike Super with the 5. Thank you so much, brother, for the super. God bless you. He says, A, I caught alive. #3, one of the realest. L, the only L I accept. Don, I'll beat up y'all for real. Don, I'll beat y'all up for real. I'm a lit one for Smokey. And he says he's a lit one for you, bro.
Hey, let's go.
Hey, if anyone wants to join in on the discussion chat, just use a clear microphone. The Discord is at the top of the stream chat. Just join my Discord server, hop into a general voice chat, and I will drag you guys in with me and Smokey, and we'll chop it up with the stream, okay? Anyone can join. Just have a working microphone and don't say something that's going to get us banned off YouTube, all right, chat?
I got to say, though, Threeville, I'd say my favorite theory that you ever made was Buggy D Crown.
Yeah,
the Jewel of Hachinosu. That was a pretty good one.
I appreciate it, bro. Thank you, man. I really enjoy that.
It's a very interesting parallel to Shanks being in the chest. So I'm gonna pose this. What if Shanks is actually the clone, and Shamrock is the actual one that is Figarland's son?
So, like, Shanks is like a clone gone wrong. In a good way. He's a clone that went wrong because he's good. Like Sanji.
Yeah.
Oh!
Like Sanji.
So Shanks is Sanji. In a way. Like, Shanks is Sanji.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah.
Oh, bro. That didn't even cross my mind. I really like that.
Because Germa would have been very active, and so would have Neo Mads, or not Neo Mads, but Mads. You know, the original run with Vegapunk, Judge, Caesar, and Queen. They would have been able to give Garland that technology to clone Shanks easily.
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% right. They've been established for a long time. Oda could easily fit in a moment or a certain scenario where an event where Mads linked up with the Gorosei. Although I do want to double check ages. Like, Shanks is 42 or something like that, right?
Yeah. Shanks is in his early 40s.
Okay.
He can't be any older than like 45.
Okay, Shanks is 39 after time skip. Okay. And then Mads, can we confirm when they were established? I just want to double check. I want to cross my T's, dot my I's. Mads was established. I don't think the wiki gives an exact. Mads was established 39 years ago. Wait, so they were established 39 years ago and Shanks was born 39 years ago. Wait. Time out.
So the timeline does add up.
Oh, right? Yeah. Shanks was born the same year that Mads was established. Whoa. Hey, whoa. Time out, Smokey. Whoa.
Let him cook.
You're burning the kitchen
Let him
down,
cook
bro.
now.
You're burning the kitchen down. Okay, so
don't forget to bring a towel.
You know how we essentially see quote unquote Shanks born on God Valley? How do we know that's not actually Shamrock in that treasure chest? And then they took Shamrock and then a failed clone of him made Shanks.
Yeah.
Like when we say, oh, Shanks was in a treasure chest on God Valley, that isn't Shanks, that's Shamrock. Then they took Shamrock, Mads tried to clone him, went wrong, that's Shanks.
Exactly. Because I still wonder what the circumstances were that Shanks would end up in a box, man. What so we know Garland is this cold guy, he's calculating and everything. What would possess him to put Shanks in a treasure box? That's what I want to know.
In terms of them putting Shanks in a treasure box, I think just to start, because there's going to be metaphorical symbolism, then there's going to be literal reasons. To start with metaphorical like symbolism, it parallels how Corazon hid Law in a treasure chest, and that was one of the reasons I believe that Shanks has Figureland blood, Shanks has celestial dragon blood, because I've been pushing the Rocks D buggy theory for many years, but when I explain that theory, I have to explain how Shanks has celestial dragon blood, and I've been pushing that far before we ever got Garling, far before we ever got the panel of Shanks finding Shanks, or Roger finding Shanks in the chest. I've been pushing the agenda that Shanks has that celestial dragon blood. So again, that stems off the idea that Shanks parallels Law. Both founded a treasure chest because they're connected to celestial dragons, as Corazon had celestial dragon blood, Garling's family, Figureland family, has celestial dragon blood. So that would be like the metaphorical symbolism reason for it. But on a literal level, I don't know. I mean, it was a war, you know, if there's bombs going off, people are dying, people's heads are flying off, you know, maybe the mom, maybe Garling, someone related to Zebek, who knows, maybe not Zebek, but someone related to the world government side, the Holy Knights, they threw Shanks, or Clover, or Shamrock in the chest. And they're like, hey, just throw them in there. We need to protect them because people are dying all over the place. We can't have a little baby walking around, you know?
Yeah. No, that's logical. I can't find anything to, like, you know, debunk what you just said. Everything you just said, it makes perfect logical sense, from the parallel with Corazon and Law, the connection to a celestial dragon, so the connection of Shanks to his father, Garling. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, I can understand why they would want to hide a baby in the treasure chest in a war, when there's a war going on. I just don't. I just think there's a bigger reason. You know what I mean? You know how it goes with, like, these royal families that have multiple kids. You know, certain kids, they get all the shines. The other ones, for whatever reason, they get tossed out.
All right.
You know, the same way Sanji did.
Yeah.
But I there is an opening. I agree. You are absolutely right. There is an opening for Shanks to have a lot of Sanji-like qualities.
All right. Hold on, Amuni. I'm about to introduce you in just 1 second. Guys, if you want to join The Voice and talk with us on stream, my Discord link is at the top of the stream chat. You guys just join my Discord, hop into the general voice chat, and I'll drag you in. We did get a super chat from L. Thank you, brother. God bless you with the 5. I'm going to let Smokey and Amuni answer this one, and then I'll answer after them. L says Shanks's mom could be the one, and she could be kind of like Sanji's mom as well, and she wanted him to be free. All All right,
I love
Mooney,
that.
Mooney, if you want to
Yeah.
tackle that first and then pass the ball to Smokey, that'd be great.
I love that.
To be honest with you, I ain't really think about Shank's mom. All I'm gonna say is just I can see that. That's all I'm gonna have to say to that. I ain't really have too much thoughts on that.
Did you okay? If you don't have too much thoughts on that, did you have something that you wanted to say before?
All I wanted to say was that it said that we found Shanks. What he was like 1 year old on God Valley, right?
Um, I don't think it explicitly said how old he was. It just showed him in the chest. But regardless, we know that Shanks is 39 and Mads was
Mhm.
established 39 years ago. So Shanks's birth lines up with the establishment of Mads, and we know that Mads was doing a lot of cloning, right? That like Mads cloning people even ties into the idea that Weevil is a failed clone. So, you know, maybe in the way that Weevil is a failed clone
Y'all
for
saying
Mads,
Shanks is
Shanks
a
is a
failed
failed clone.
clone?
Yeah, because I think that they would probably want him to
Oh,
fit, like, you know how Sanji is a failure experiment? Shanks would be
yeah,
a failure experiment in that kind of way.
I can see that. All right. No, because I was just going off that everywhere it says his origin was the West Blue. But my thing is, everyone say that he was a celestial dragon and stuff. So it should say that he was born on Mary Joe's, but it says that West Blue.
Yeah, so we don't exactly that. I mean, like that's a fair point to bring up. I would just say that we don't know the context of West Blue. Like there could have been an island there that was sanctioned by Holy Knights and the world government, like an island that they owned, and he was born there, or maybe they were on their way somewhere and he was born in the middle of the sea. Like I would say that we don't
Yeah,
have enough context on why Shanks was born in West Blue, but maybe being that Shanks is such an important, notable character, there Oda will dive into why he was born in the West Blue, and maybe it ties to Mads.
yeah,
I think that makes sense because the West Blue Mads has their hands all over the West Blues history. Like, between Judge and yeah. I think it makes sense. My only thing that I was seeing in chat as we were talking about it is that when Mads formed those 39 years ago, which lines up with God Valley, I heard somebody say that their first successful clone was Thusi, correct? So
yeah.
they're saying that happened 3 years after Mads was formed. So I
Oh, you
guess
know what?
the
Uh,
only that could be the only wrench to the line of thinking. You
yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so if I've always had the thought that Oda is a very sneaky, cunning little man. Because when Oda says that not Smokey, when Oda says that Stussy is the first successful clone, wait, successful. Stussy is
That
the
is true.
first successful clone.
Yeah,
Oda's
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
sneaky
yeah.
little guy, bro. So again,
Yeah.
I see events, I see you right there in the chat, bro. When you look at Sanji, he's an awesome, great guy. He has emotions. You know, he's a normal human as far as we might judge, but in a sense, Sanji is a failure in terms of experimentation. That could be a similar scenario to Shamrock and Shanks. Like
And I agree.
they would want Shanks to have
Mhm.
like no emotions, be a complete robot that takes orders, but it doesn't work. He's actually a good guy. He has his own free
Mhm.
will, you know, so a failure in that sense.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Oda could go the route like he did with Sanji, having
Whoa, did I lag
Mhm.
out? Or
Oh no, no, no! I thought he cut up. He cut out there.
yo, Smokey, you
I
good?
definitely think yeah.
Oh, you got to start from the top, bro. You cut out for us.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry. Can you hear me good now?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so what I was saying is just like with Sora, with Sanji, the way she intervened to make sure Sanji would have all his emotions, I think Shanks's mom could have done the same thing.
Mm.
I wanted to bounce back really quick to West. I love that, but I wanted to bounce back really quick to West Blue. God Valley is in the West Blue, so perhaps like as soon as and God Valley incident was 39 years ago. So maybe there was a pregnant girl on God Valley and then she gave birth and they immediately threw that baby in the treasure chest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, bitch.
Well, I mean, hey, God Valley's in the West Blue though. And God Valley incident was 39 years ago. Shanks is 39.
I'm just going off of that. Once you said that, I was just going off the picture that Oda drew for us when we first seen Shanks in that chest. But
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. I was just like, does that
See,
look like an infant?
you know what's
Does
really
that look like a
funny?
newborn?
You know what's funny, Amuni, about that is Shanks didn't get that scar until he was older. So now we don't know if that is Shamrock or Shanks in the chest. And I think Oda did that on purpose. It's just so clever.
Ooh,
Wait,
see, that's what I
that's
wanted to
very
bring up.
interesting, Threeville. I'm glad you brought up Shanks Scar.
Because I don't know if
So
you remember when I text you about that scar. I still want to know, like, when did Shanks get this scar? Did Blackbeard have his fruit? Because I don't think he
yeah,
had his fruit when he gave
so
the scar.
that's exactly what I was about to just jump right into. So with Shanks Scar, we know he didn't have it the day that we saw him on God Valley. We also know that he didn't have it the whole time he was on Roger's crew. He left Roger's crew, he was like, what, 10, 11? Like, do we know how old Shanks was when the Roger Pirates
Uh,
disbanded?
12,
no,
if
but
I'm
he
not
looked like he was
mistaken.
in his teens.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think he
so
was
he was
12.
Okay.
12. So for Roger's execution, I'm gonna guess he was between 15 and 18. That's what I'm gonna guess. When Roger got executed on the platform, and him, Mihawk, Doflamingo, Moria were all in the crowds watching him. So I think Shanks got his scar from Blackbeard in between the time he went to go get Loki, if that makes sense. So we know
Go get who?
when he went to go capture Loki and he returned him to
Uh-huh.
Elbaf, I think he got the scar after he became a Yonko. I think Blackbeard could have peeled off on a secret mission without Whitebeard knowing, and that's when he scarred Shanks.
I'm throwing this out there. When you look at baby Shanks that was found in that treasure chest, or Shamrock, whichever route you want to take, Oda again is a sneaky man. Why does this baby, or why is this baby wearing pajamas with a sun and a moon? You could connect that moon to Garling, right? He clearly has the
You can
moon
connect
motif,
that to Norse mythology too.
or Norse mythology.
You can connect that to the Wolf brothers. There's a wolf for the sun
Mm-hmm.
and there's a wolf for the moon.
Oh, you know
And they
what?
chase each other around the sky.
You
So
know,
that right there
Yeah,
could
gonna
be
be.
foreshadowing brothers.
but I think it just hit me because when you look at Shanks's pajamas, it has a star. It has stars, sun, and moon. That's celestial. His pajamas is a celestial theme, celestial dragon blood. But I don't really know where to go from there because we kind of figured as much already. There is a bracelet
yeah.
that looks like Shanks's or Ace's bracelet. You know, the black red beads or whatever. That's in the treasure chest with baby Shanks. I don't know if that could be pointing to something. If that's a reach. You also have a cross right here on his right. There's a cross.
You know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for the symbol that was on Kuma's church. Now that would be awesome if Oda included that symbol somewhere in that treasure chest of the symbol that Kuma had on his church. Now that would be awesome because we're seeing that symbol come up a lot more.
The cross?
We're seeing it on the cross. The cross with the sun in it.
Oh, with the sun, not so much, but we do see that cross in One Piece a number of times, but not with the circles in the middle.
Yeah.
What's good, Jin Marks? Chat, I hope you guys are enjoying the stream. If you guys haven't already, like the stream, chat, like the stream. If you're new here, subscribe. If you're not new here, hit the notification bell so you don't miss future streams. If you guys want to join in the stream with us in voice chat and share your theories, your hot takes, whatever it is, guys, the Discord link is at the top of the stream chat. Just join my Discord, hop into the general voice chat, and we'll drag you in.
So this panel that we're looking at, is this the panel that Oda did for the film Red movie?
Yes. Well, I don't know if it was necessarily for Film Red, but this was a volume. Actually, it might have been. This was to talk about Roger's time on God Valley. You know, when we saw like the younger Roger. I forgot what they called that. Maybe it was for Film Red. I think it was for Film Red.
Okay.
The Navarana symbol. Yeah, that's one of my favorite videos I've done. Like the idea that the One Piece world right now lives in a geocentric model. They think that their universe, their solar system, has planets and moons revolving around the Earth. And that's because they had the understanding of the sun erased from their mind. And that's because Emu and the world government hid Nika, the sun god, hiding him from the worlds. So the biggest revelation that the One Piece planet could go through right now is a heliocentric model where the solar system revolves around the sun as in helio. So that not only would have a literal impact with them having a better calendar, because we see how they mention calendars in One Piece. There'd be a literal purpose to that, but the metaphorical purpose is, of course, the symbolism of the sun, the understanding of the sun connected to Nika. What's good, Jay bro?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom. I'm gonna let you guys take over for a second.
Okay.
So going off what he said, is Emu the Earth God? Since the
Well,
world of One Piece revolve around Emu right now, and he
So
just
I-
said the Helio and stuff.
So I've seen a lot of theories when it comes to Emu. I've seen theories that Emu is like Gaia. She's like Mother Earth.
hmm
I've also seen theories where Emu is a Umibozu, which is
Yeah.
sea yokai. And then I've obviously seen theories that Emu's Satan. So I think it's pretty much gonna happen that Emu's gonna have a legendary devil fruit in the class of a god. If Emu has a devil fruit, it's in a god class.
Yeah.
If Emu's a yokai, it's gonna be one of the strongest yokais.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then
Yeah.
if Emu's Mother Earth, well, in the story they say that the devil fruits are the pisses they make the sea mad. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So it's all pretty much any of those three things. It could be a combination of both. You know,
Yeah.
Oda. I think Oda is getting to a point in his writing to where, like, as we've always said, Oda always pulls from multiple sources and places and everything. So I think
right.
Oda is getting a lot better at blending in everything. If you know what I mean.
It make it seem real. Like, you tell me this man pull basically real events, real people from our world and stuff, and is able to blend in and stuff. So he's like trying to tell us some shit.
Yeah, Oda. For all we know, Oda could actually know who runs the real world, and he's trying to wake us up, man, through the story.
They wear tiny hats, but on the topic of what's good, Jay bro? On the topic of you mentioned Emu being Earth God. I think Luffy being so being lined up with Nika, I think like we all pretty much agree with that. Him taking on the motif and the symbolism of the sun, we have to take that into account when we look at Emu. And as much as it would make sense that Emu would be aligned with the Earth because of the whole heliocentric thing, geocentric thing, I think it's actually moon. Emu embodies the moon, so it's the sun versus the moon. It's night versus day. It's light versus dark. It's that kind of theme. And Emu, carrying the moon motif, wants to take over the Earth anyways. So it's kind of a thing where it's like, who owns the Earth? Who rules the Earth? The sun or the moon?
I felt that Blackbeard kind of represented the moon, and since going off what you said earlier with the Helio and the other one. Since the world of One Piece revolves around Emu right now, Emu might be the Earth God. That shit.
I mean, it is tricky with like the moon and the Earth. I haven't spoken on this in a long time. I've done videos on this, and my memory is just so hazy because I know the whole argument of Blackbeard being moon god because there's the SBS drawing where he's crying at the moon, but I can't remember my arguments full-fledged. I think it has to do with the yokai as well. I'm gonna have to watch back my own content.
Hey, all Blackbeard got to do is just take out the sun, or take out any type of light, and Blackbeard can control the world.
Yeah, like Blackbeard
Complete
being
darkness.
Blackbeard being likened to a black hole instead of the moon. Do you feel like that lines up better? Because it seems like these bigger characters in One Piece, they have a celestial theme, right? So like
Yeah,
the
no.
Gorosei planets, Luffy Sun, Blackbeard,
Yeah,
black hole.
yeah. No, I can
I
see
can
it.
see that.
I can
I
see
can see
it.
that.
Like
I the way
it
you
doesn't
explain it.
for me. It doesn't have to just be one character. One celestial body. Like I believe both Emu and Blackbeard can be represented by the moon. You know what I mean? I don't think it has to be just one. But when
Okay.
you bring in the Earth, you know, Emu, there's just not enough information. Like I could find a way to reason that Emu is with the Earth, and
Ah, well, actually, how many moons do the One Piece world have?
I think
Um,
one, right?
Well, it's actually interesting because I've pointed this out before in Clover's laboratory where he has the I don't know, solar system model. You could see that there's actual, I have it on my stream right now. You guys can see these are planets and some of them have their own moons, especially when you pay attention to the lines that are connecting like each planet to each other. And you can see like it's basically creating an orbit, and you can see how the moons orbit other planets. So there's actual planets in One Piece, and some of these planets
Especially
have their
with
own
that
moons.
red ball. Yeah, you're right. You're on it. You're right on the
And
nose.
not to cut
That
you off,
red
but
ball.
not to cut you off, I'm sorry, I'll pass it back to you. You can see right here that if you pay attention to the lines, you can see there's planets and moons orbiting, but look, they're orbiting the One Piece planet, and we know that that can't possibly be true because there's a sun in the One Piece world. So this is why they follow the wrong model. They follow a geocentric model, meaning geocentric,
Yeah,
Earth in the
geo-Earth.
middle, and then it should
Yeah.
be heliocentric, and the reason why is hiding Nika. But I wanted to introduce really quick. We got JK Dollar Sign in here. Are you in?
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going,
I'm
bro?
only here. I'm at work at the moment, but I can only do a couple theories for you. First and foremost, Shamrock Shanks. Think of the name carefully. Shamrock Shakes from Burger King. One fact for it first. Oda is doing collab with Burger King, so
Oh,
it would be
nice.
funny for the little. It would be funny for the little pun for that. Second theory is that the Chandorians are actually a refugees race that were on the moon. So that moon was just a gas station stop, in a sense. They didn't come from there. They came from a different planet. And that all of the Gorosei, since like the ones that were named after a major planet and all that, had their own ship and came to Earth and all that. And then their
So-
ships were destroyed in an ancient battle, and only 3 were left. And then basically when Neptune's ship was destroyed, Neptune was the leader of that ship, hence why they passed it down to that way. Name-wise.
So basically, the Gorosei are aliens.
In a sense, yes. And it's
Oh,
like, because you
I
think,
like it.
because if you think
Space
about it, there's so
pirates.
much stuff out of space coming from this, and it's like you're gonna tell me a race that from like people who have wings came from outer space into Earth for they were living there and all the time. There had to be a reason why, and there has to be a valid point for them to be there and get resources there to live. They couldn't eat food normally there on the moon. There's no food source or supplies for energy or anything. So how'd they get there? They had to flee. So if they fled from a neighboring country running away because someone was chasing them down, and you look at all the other planets, they're all named after, like, they're all the major Gorosei and the major ships are all named after a planet. You know, similarities.
Three was actually going through the NL space cover story right
Yeah,
now.
I got it pulled up right here. I always talk about this, how One Piece already has spaceships confirmed. You can see these dog celestial moon kind of people, whatever we want to call them. They obviously got here on this spaceship. There's holes on the side of the machine which presumably shoot some kind of like heat or fire fuel. They have spaceships. It's canon in One Piece, so the idea of life on other planets, that's I like that. You're arguing that the Lunarians are from another planet, not necessarily the moon.
Yes.
Okay, so and then on down the line, they became the original people who lived on top of the red line.
Yep.
And then that's when the celestial dragons eliminated them and then took the red line from themselves.
They showed up again, basically. They kept on hunting them.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
to point out real quick, Blackbeard propaganda said those aliens came here because their planet was no longer habitable. We also know that to be true because in the official translations, I'll pull it up in a second here. We know that when NL was reading the hieroglyphics on the wall, Oda narrated it, and it literally said, lacking natural resources, they flew to the blue planet, and the blue planet
Oh.
is referencing the One Piece planet. So that's already confirmed. Yeah.
I
And
can
then
see.
my last theory is that Lily, she stole Pluton, and she actually I have two more theories. She stole Pluton and released the poneglyphs at the same time. So she released the poneglyphs, and when they were all scattering around, freaking out, she stole Pluton and led to Wano, and that's how Wano became established. Because if you look at the lineage line, she looks a lot like Toki. You know.
Mm.
Then the last one is that Zunasha's big crime is that they didn't follow Joy Boy's orders and stayed.
Now that I think that
before-
one's really good.
And then, like,
I think that one's the most likeliest. Zunisha's crime of
Man, please
betraying
stay.
Joy Boy, that makes sense.
I have it pulled up right here, 472 on the cover story. NL's Great Space Mission, Volume 36. The Moon City Bilka, they fled to the blue planet in search of resources. And I mean, it's like how you said, JK. When you look at the moon, there's literally no resources. So they most likely left their planet lacking resources, went to the moon, still no resources. Then they're like, fine, go to the blue planet, live on the red line.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then,
I can see how they
like,
wiped out the Lunarians.
yeah, and then like for Zunasha's crime wise, it's like the idea is that Joy Boy told Zunasha to leave, like keep on running, and Zunasha said, "No, I'm going to stay with you and fight," which causes Joy Boy to be captured and then later on presumed to be executed, resulting in Zunasha constantly running because now he has to deal with the crime. Basically, he feels like I should just keep on moving no matter what. So.
Mm.
And then I have one more theory.
Well,
that
remember,
Loki-
he had to ask permission to attack Jack. So
That is true.
Zunisha can't do anything without giving permission.
That is
except
true.
for wandering. So that is a good that I can see it. I mean I can really see it.
I think one of the biggest factors that would tie into why Zunisha is punished has to probably be tied into the fact of why didn't they just kill Zunisha? I think like, oh, well, why are they punishing him to make him walk around? Why don't they just kill him? I think that's going to be intertwined with the punishment and what he did as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because logically, if you have somebody as big as Zunisha as a threat, you got to take him out. If you're being competent, I'm not going to punish you. I'm going to just take you out.
Mhm.
That's what they should have done.
And I think again the reason why they didn't take him out is not the exact same reason, but is related to what he did. Like in order to know why Zunisha is punished and what he did, it ties into why didn't they just kill him? Like
So
you need both pieces.
I think I've heard you talk about this before, Threevil, or at least I've seen a lot of people talking about it. So a lot of people have talked about the reason why Joy Boy failed was the big giant, Zunisha, possibly Lily. When the moment of truth came, they lost their faith for whatever reason, or they betrayed Joy Boy. So it'd be interesting to find out what is the exact event that caused Joy Boy's loyal crew. Because remember, he's supposed to have Luffy qualities, so he's gonna be endearing. He's gonna have Conqueror's Hawkery, and he's gonna be a leader. So
I had technically one super dark theory about it was that like the whole celestial dragons are technically like Joy Boy's like descendants. They're all Joy Boy's descendants, and Emu is just portraying as to be Joy Boy, and it's just like basically using their his descendants as devil fruit sources. Because there's theory that devil fruits are all technically human souls. So who's the best soul to take is someone corrupted completely, which is a celestial dragon. So, you know. So there's a lot of theories for One Piece.
Sorry,
Unfortunately.
I liked that. This is a little unrelated because I want to point this out. This is kind of crazy. I don't know if you guys might think it's a reach, but Haraidesh. I'm butchering your name. I'm sorry. I'll call you H. H in chat pointed out how the wolf that works for Loki has a scar on his left eye similar to Shanks. Any thoughts on that? Is that foreshadowing? Gunko ended up killing this dog. Is this a reach? I think this is interesting. I mean, we're getting this at the same time that Oda's revealing Shanks' twin that doesn't have a scar, and this dog just so happens to have a scar on the same side as Shanks. Any thoughts?
Yeah,
I can
no.
see it more on the ideas of murdering the idea just like it's gonna murder Shanks. So like following that soliloquy, like, oh, well, similarity when the whole Straw Hat crew line up, they'll see the wolf dead. Like Luffy will be instantly mad, and then it's gonna be Shanks showing up there, and he's gonna be like wondering what the heck's going on, but it's not Shanks. So that whole disillusion of who to trust.
The one thing I will say about the wolf and what makes the wolf so interesting, especially because we're in Elbaf, is because of Fenrir. Like every time I see a wolf, I think of a Fenrir reference. And if you want to say that somehow the wolf could end up being the reason that Shanks is dead, well, Fenrir is the one that killed Odin in Ragnarok. So there is a little bit of actual Norse lore that you can pull from to try and make a theory about the wolf being able to kill Shanks.
Yeah, there's definitely some wolf thing going on right now. I mean, Fenrir, as you said, Norse mythology. You have Shamrock having Gunko kill a wolf who has a scar on the side of his eye. There's some kind of wolf thing going on, and Elle even just said that could that also link the Figurlins to werewolves, or could the Figurlins be werewolves? There's definitely some wolf stuff going on.
So I've heard some. I think a lot of people at this point have heard a lot of theories about Garwing being a werewolf, having a werewolf yokai form. So I agree. The Figurlins are very connected to wolves. From the myths of the two wolf siblings that chase each other around the earth, one's the sun, one is night. From Fenrir, there's just so much that Oda could do with wolves.
It's getting to a point where Loki and Doflamingo have such uncanny similarities. What were you saying?
I had to get back to work there, guys. But I'll talk to y'all later. And it was nice talking with you.
Great takes, bro.
Yeah,
Peace.
It was nice talking to you, man. Take it easy.
Yeah, take it easy as well. Peace.
Take it easy, bro. Guys, if anyone else wants to join the voice chat on stream with us, Discord link is at the top of the stream chat. Just join my Discord server, hop into the general voice chat, and we'll drag you in. We'll probably be live for maybe like another 30 minutes or so. Then we'll probably wrap it up. Heradiesh said, and one more thing, the wolf was Loki's childhood friend, just as Luffy and Shanks. In this case, imagine Loki as Luffy as Loki. Wait. In this case, imagine Loki as Luffy as Loki. Wait, hold on. You got to reword that. Do you get what he's saying?
No.
And one more thing, the wolf was Loki's childhood friend, just as Luffy and Shanks. Okay, I get that part, but you said, in this case, imagine Loki as Luffy as Loki. Wait, what?
I don't know about that.
Also says he is the sun god. Will of Dreams said, Norse mythology, Odin had two wolves. Two wolves chased the sun and the moon, Fenrir and Garm, a Cerberus Norse version, who protects Helheim under Hela's rule. You guys know anything about that?
Oh, you're talking about the Hell Wolf, Garm, who protects the underworld?
Yeah.
It's kind of like Cerberus from Greek mythology.
I don't know about that one. That one new to me.
Yeah, the Cerberus three-headed dog.
I know about Cerberus. The other ones, that one new to me.
Jordan says Garm might be Blackbeard.
So basically what Cerberus does is he protects the realm of the underworld. But see, he doesn't protect from people coming in. he only protects against people who are alive coming in. For example, like when Hercules wanted to go to the underworld, he had to incapacitate Cerberus before he went through there. That's why people used to have to play music for him, or they had to physically restrain him before they could go through the underworld and get to Hades.
Wasn't he in Harry Potter too? Wasn't
Yeah, he was in Harry Potter.
he? Yeah.
That it was Hagrid's dog. They called him Fluffy. He was the one that was sitting on the door that led to the maze that eventually got them to the Philosopher's Stone in the first book.
Yeah. I feel that Dofi gonna join the Holy Knights.
And that's interesting, man.
I think Dofi's
Mhm.
gonna end up joining Cross Guild. There's just
Yeah.
there's a lot. There's a lot.
I mean, I know he wanted to work with Crocodile, but
We're gonna have to
I
go
don't know, I
to
just
war over
feel like
that.
he wanted to go back to. Well, then they did banish him, so they made him want to, like, you know.
We're gonna have to go to war over that one, bro. Because the way I see it, either Law or Doflamingo is joining. And I know about false
It's
dilemmas,
Law.
false
It's
dichotomies.
gonna be like.
I get the whole idea.
No.
You shouldn't always make things in life one or two options. Sometimes it's three or four options. But when you look at the history between Law and Doflamingo, I can't see them working on the same team, bro. I feel like it's one or the other.
No.
And I would lean
I
towards
think-
Law.
No, I feel like Law gonna be with Luffy.
We already did that, bro. It's time for Law to take a different route. And you know, we've had like most of the with Cross Guild, we've had Law work with the Straw Hats for the majority of the time post time skip. It's time for him to be like, you know what, Luffy, love you, bro, but I can't be with you 24/7. He has to do something else, and he doesn't even have a ship anymore. His ship is destroyed. He doesn't even have a crew. He has to go with the Cross Guild, bro. And
I agree.
Doflamingo with the Holy Knights is interesting because Doflamingo tried to sell Dressrosa back to Riku for 5 billion or 10 billion berries, and the whole point of that was to get back into the Holy Kingdom and be back in line with the Celestial Dragon. So him joining the Holy Knights can kind of inch him towards that. And hold on, one more thing. Sorry, one more thing. I'm also seeing a lot of parallels between Loki and Doflamingo. I feel like these guys, they're both kind of wild. They both killed their dad. They both have long hair. They both stick their tongue out. If Loki's being offered a Holy Knight position, what if that doesn't work and Doflamingo gets it instead?
Yeah, they gonna come back and get him. He's awakened.
I agree with you. No matter what, Doflamingo is just way too valuable to both sides. Like
And
he
you know the
can be
secret.
valuable to the pirates because he has
And
the
he know the
power, the
secret.
information, and the Celestial Dragons. He knows what the Holy Treasure is. I mean, he's always going to be valuable to them, whether they kick him out or not. You can't leave a guy like Doflamingo running around unchecked. That's just not good.
Real Blackbeard propaganda said Dofi is too weak to be a Holy Knight. To be fair, or to be honest, I don't think we could power scale the Holy Knights at this point, can we?
I will say this: if Oda can create power-ups for Crocodile, he can create power-ups for Dofi.
While I agree, but while I agree with that, Smokey, can we even power scale Holy Knights in the first place?
Not yet. Not yet.
Kinda, if so, because you can say Dragon said he got to move when the Holy Knights move.
Is that a political thing though? Like chess pieces on the board.
I mean, who do Dragon have to come back to Holy Knight?
Also, if it's not political, then let's say this: if Dragon didn't want to make a move until the Holy Knights made a move, he's obviously got to feel good about his commanders. He must obviously think Ivankov or Betty or whoever is strong enough to take on a Holy Knight.
I want to introduce Elite One. Elite One, are you here, brother?
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
Welcome in, bro. On the topic of, because you bring up a great point, Smokey. You mentioned the National Treasure, right? Before I explain.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did mention the National Treasure.
So you bring up a great point, him knowing the National Treasure. I've done a video on this, guys. I'll just briefly gloss over it. If you guys want the full explanation, go look up my National Treasure video. To me, it seems 99.99999% likely that the national treasure is Emu. So I don't really want to go into the whole big explanation unless you guys want. But if that's the answer, then I feel like it's better. Maybe it's not necessarily better, but it would be like fitting for him to be a holy knight. Yeah, I think like him, because we've seen other people in One Piece be referenced as a national treasure. For an example, Nami and Hiyori were called national treasures in Wano. That's one. Two, when Doflamingo was talking to Law in the official translations, the way Doflamingo spoke about the national treasure was as if it was a human, it was an entity, it was a being. Because when he talked about the national treasure, he talked about switching personalities and he talked about immortality. If the national treasure was an object, that makes no sense. If the national treasure was a person, it makes perfect sense that he would talk about personality switching and immortality. I have a whole video on this, but if Emu is the national treasure, as I predict, and Doflamingo therefore knows Emu's existence, I think it's actually kind of fitting for Doflamingo to then be a holy knight.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can see that. I can see that for sure.
He's going to sneak in.
For sure.
Last second.
That makes a lot of sense.
Elite One, I wanted to ask you, is there any kind of theory or any kind of take you want to throw at us right now?
Yeah, I had a great theory I was cooking in regards to like the Holy Knights and like this whole situation with Garland and the God Valley and everything.
Let's hear it, bro.
So basically, we obviously know like the Holy Knights and Celestial Dragons, they go by the title of Saint, and like which obviously is supposed to like portray them as like very virtuous people, like very kind people, because the title of Saint is usually in the Bible is usually given to, well, not even just in Christian law anyway. Like it's usually given to people who have lived very like moral lives, but it's supposed to be an intentional contrast with the actual Celestial Dragons because they commit the greatest, like they're the most sinful people in the world of One Piece.
Yeah. No, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, like the whole idea is like, obviously, like Jesus paid the price, like for humanity's sins in obviously Bible literature, like, and he paid the price by blood, right?
Right.
And the thing is, like, if you look in Impel Down, because this ties heavily to Doflamingo and like the Holy Knights, but in Impel Down, level 1, the Crimson Hell, you could see the structures. I don't know if you could pull up. You could see the structures are made of like blood. Well, they're red, like they're like red spiked structures, and I think these structures are made of blood. And
okay. So you think the spikes that were coming out of the floor on
Crimson
level
blood.
1 of
Crimson Hell,
blood.
sorry.
Yeah, I think those are made of blood, and I think somebody with a paramecia that allows them to manipulate blood created those structures, and they get the blood from the prisoners they've been killing in Impel Down.
So somebody basically kind of has like the powers of have you seen Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yeah, I've seen like
bloodbending.
Katara and
bloodbending.
Yeah, bloodbending's insane.
Yeah, and this actually links to like, because we know Shiryu, he was killing prisoners behind the scenes, which got him a death sentence by Magellan.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think the character who has been creating these structures in Impel Down in level 1 has been the one who's been training Shiryu behind the scenes in Impel Down. And then, sorry if I'm going too long. I don't want to take up anybody's time.
No,
You're good.
No, you're good. Keep going.
So, like, we remember when Doflamingo got taken by the Marines in Dressrosa, and he said he was talking about how the Celestial Dragons, their power is going to degrade eventually. They're going to fall from power. And he was talking to Suru about when will the D's like reveal themselves? When will they emerge? Where are they in hiding and everything? And he was getting sent to Impel Down as he said this. And I believe this was a foreshadow to the reveal of a D character, a character with the will of D, who has been in hiding for a significantly long time. And this character in Impel Down, who I'm saying created these structures, is the character I'm like referring to.
Frozen. Oh, every time I think of Impel Down, I think of the dude that's frozen in there when they
Yeah,
showed that one dude.
the argument that that's Roxy Zebek is actually very good, and everyone thinks it's a meme, but there's actual logic behind it. But I don't want to deter from his theory. Elite One, was that about
Yeah.
it?
So like basically, I believe there's a character who in the same era as Garland, same era as Garland and the Holy
Mhm.
Knights of Rocks, who was an ally to Rocks, who specifically had an agenda to make the Holy Knights pay for their sins in blood.
Hmm.
And this character is like, so we have the Holy Knights who are like the highest ranking celestial dragons other than the Gorosei, and like we know the celestial dragons are involved in like they're involved in the abuse of like women and everything, like whereas knights are typically depicted to be like people who have high respect for women.
Damn,
Like,
I was just
it-
gonna address what Deontay just said, but Threeville beat me to it. But that he brought up a good point though. Like what happened to the guard that warned who's? If there was a hidden D in Impel Down, that would be a good candidate, even though we don't know who it is.
I mean, I don't know, man. I think the prisoner guard told him the guard.
yeah,
It's
it could have been King,
yeah, it
but
could have been
I don't
King.
know.
Because it's
Yeah.
interesting. I mean, if you guys remember, if you guys were reading Weekly like 2, 3, 4 years ago, we were talking about how King has the outfit of an Impel Down guard, right? But nothing ever came from that.
Yeah,
In
absolutely.
fact, when we later on, after we were all theorizing that, what do we see? King is a kid in Punk Hazard, which almost goes against that theory. Because it would be strange that King would be, as a kid in Punk Hazard, rescued by Kaido, but then somehow later on in life having an Impel Down fit. Like that would mean that at some point after King was a kid saved by Kaido from Punk Hazard, King then turned around, somehow ended up locked up in Impel Down, took their motif, got saved by Kaido. I don't know. That seems a little strange.
Yeah, all right, that's true. That's true.
Real quick though, while we're still talking about Impel Down,
Mhm.
you guys have noticed that Magellan has wings, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
So what race is Magellan? That's what I want to know.
That's unclear. Some people argue they're fake wings, but I don't know.
Yeah, who knows at this point, you know?
It's kind of unclear for me, at least. But yeah, just to go back to what you were saying, Elite One, it is interesting that you make a good point, because these celestial dragons, these holy knights, not holy knights, but these celestials, they're called saints, yet they're like the most sinful people. We see how they launch genocide, we see how they, slaughter and kidnap people, all types of wicked stuff. But we also know that when Sabo, when he got to the room of authority, he pointed out, wait, isn't this supposed to be heaven? It looks more like hell. So I think this is very intentional, where Oda gives
Exactly.
the celestial dragons like this heavenly, righteous, holy kind of depiction to normal One Piece characters, but we know that it's actually quite the opposite, and they're fooling the One Piece world by making them seem like they are God's people, when they're actually not God's people, and that they're actually stealing the idea of being God's people.
Cook.
But in terms of coding what is it, level 1 or 2 of Impel Down in blood, I'm not too sure what to make of that. I'm gonna have to think about that some more, because we have to understand, we have to think at least, like, how is Impel Down a thing? Like, did they build
Yeah.
Impel Down, then
that
it got
is
flooded?
true.
Or did they build Impel Down underwater? A lot of people would lean towards the former. They built Impel Down,
Mhm.
then it got flooded. I think
Then it
most
got
people
flooded,
don't
yeah.
think. Yeah, because you guys wouldn't say
Mhm.
that they Impel Down, like, there was an ocean, then people went underwater, then it built Impel Down, right?
It's very
Do we
hard to
do we
perceive.
know
Yeah.
do we know when Impel Down was exactly built?
No.
Because we
No, we
know
don't
that
know.
the world is
Nope.
flooded before, correct?
No,
So-
we don't know. And I actually looked very deep into this. I wanted to cook a theory a few months ago, trying to figure out Impel Down, was it flooded and then made, or was it made and then flooded? And it's unclear when Impel
Wait,
Down was made.
Didn't the sea the water rise what 200?
I think it was
200 meters?
100.
200 meters.
100?
Yeah.
100? Impel down pretty big, right?
Yeah, it's very tall. It's a huge
Oh,
tower.
Impel Down is huge. It's kind of like building the
Yeah.
motif of the tip of the iceberg with the tip of
Mhm.
Impel Down sitting above water level and then the rest under it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they can build just on top of that if if the water start to rise, they can just build because there's some part of it above water, ain't it?
See, I agree
Yeah.
with
No,
what
actually, all
Tiante
of
just
it's
said
underwater,
too.
right? Oh no, you're right. You're
Tower
right.
of Babel. That's
Yeah.
a good connection there.
Yeah, so
Tiante.
that would be in the sense like there was an original people that built this tower, and then the world
Mhm.
government hijacked it. Like
Mhm.
they like
Yeah.
there was a group of people that made the Tower of Babel, then the people coming after took over it. And that kind of fits
Yeah.
the theme of the Celestial Dragons. Anyways, we know that the Seraphim, or not the Seraphim, the Lunarians lived on top of the Red Line, but the world government went to the Red Line. They hijacked it. They put Marijwa up there, so it could be the same similar scenario where Impel Down existed, and then the world government hijacked it.
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh, wait. So you saying that people was living in it and they
Well,
just came and
It's
took
it.
over?
I think it's unclear what the original purpose of Impel Down was. Maybe it was a prison, but I think
Yo,
like
if I was
regardless,
gonna
the
be-
world government took over it.
Because I can see people
If I
back
was to
then
be
was
any
like,
race living in Impel Down, with the way that Impel Down is formatted to where, as I said before, the top is above the water and the rest is below it, that would have been a great place for the fishmen to take over. That would be a good fisherman location.
Yeah, they'd be able to guard it, right?
They'd have the protection of the Sea Kings that were all around it too.
ain't this right by the where they stay at right now? Just
It's by Impel Down. Yeah, it's in the I can never remember what they call that area. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I forgot.
Are you
The
talking
t-
about
the
where
Tarai
the 3
current.
points connect?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah.
Enies Lobby,
Yeah.
Impel
Tarai,
Down?
yeah, it's called Tarai Current.
Yeah.
Which makes us wonder why is there a whirlpool in between them, and two, what's in that whirlpool? Is there something there? Is there a
Is it
hidden?
something alive?
And also, was that whirlpool
Ooh.
caused by a firing of an ancient
Ooh.
weapon on a civilization that was in the middle, and now you got the big hole like Lucia, and then the whirlpool filled it in?
Exactly,
Y'all think that
exactly.
whirlpool-
I love that. I love that because I came to that conclusion a while ago as well. You have a gigantic hole where Annie's lobby is, and it just so happens that there's a strange current right beside it with a whirlpool. That's a little too much of a coincidence.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. I was thinking of the
Yeah,
dude
to
that
me,
makes
that
whirlpools,
just
yeah.
sends warning bells off
Yeah,
in my
sure,
head
yeah.
that a significant geological event happened in this area.
Mm.
The destruction of, quote unquote, destruction of Annie's lobby. The whole creating therefore that whirlpool and the strange current. And then they took advantage of it. They're like, you know what? We're gonna build this. We're gonna build that. Although it's strange because we don't know if Impel Down was created before or after the whole of Annie's lobby. See, like there's so many things that are like unclear that make this very tricky, but it is fun to try to theorize.
Oh yeah, no, it's very
Yeah,
tricky.
yeah.
Simply because when it comes to what we know prior to the Void Century, man, we don't know very much. We know a few events that we can put on the timeline, but we really don't know very much. We don't even know when they switched over calendars. Like when the first apocalyptic event, since they said 2 apocalyptic events had happened, right? So we don't even know what the calendar looks like after the first apocalyptic event. Then the second one, when the Marines came in and they brought in their own calendar and they started taking over the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you
Yeah,
had the
yeah.
second. Now you have Luffy's apocalyptic event.
And just to bounce back to L with the $2, thank you so much, brother. God bless. He said fishmen were enslaved to build Impel Down. Is this how fisherman slavery began? Because as much as we kind of lean towards the idea that Fishman Island or that Impel Down was made, then it was flooded. I mean, there are fishmen who are really powerful and strong and fast in water, so maybe they were enslaved to make Impel Down after the water was already there. And this
It would make
go ahead.
it would make sense because the Sea Kings are around there. So basically, if anybody wanted to approach Impel Down from underwater, it would have to be a fisherman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just
Like-
wouldn't be feasible with humans at all.
How do we know that there wasn't a Watatsumi type fishman that was huge, or somebody like a Salmon Wolf back in the day that could have built Impel Down? There's a lot of speculation.
They probably brought over the resources with people like Watasumi and Sea Kings, then fishmen themselves used the resources to build. Could be something like that. And again, tying into how Ella is saying that would have been the birth of fisherman slavery. Which fishermen themselves as a race play a huge role in the story, being that they're so deeply connected to Joy Boy and Nika. Like, why are they enslaved? Why is the world government so opposed to them? There's something critical about that race. So I'm sure that Oda's going to eventually have to bounce back and explain the origins of them, why they're enslaved and stuff like that.
No, the fishermen are definitely going to be keys. All the races that have been persecuted, the Giants, the Lunarians, the Buccaneers, the D family, they're all going to be key when it comes to Joy Boy and how Luffy finishes up this story. Every race is going to make a significant impact.
Speaking of the races, like obviously there's like the strong theme of like blood tied to the fishermen, and like how fishermen and humans have the same blood. And you have Jimby who did the blood transplant with Luffy, and you have celestial dragons like Doflamingo who talk about the fact that they have different blood in their veins to humans. Like he told Luffy that the blood in my veins is different to yours. And we know all the races, like the Minks, the fishermen, like they all have blood, and blood essentially connects all the people in the world of One Piece, because the celestial dragons are just humans. They don't have different blood. The fishermen don't have different blood.
All right, so to bring up like kind of like a real life thing. So fish in the ocean, especially the fish that live very, very deep in the dark sea under a lot of pressure and stuff, they evolve differently because of the environment, the pressure, the water temperature, all that, right? So how crazy would it be if a specific set of humans in the One Piece world, they got trapped by some sort of event under a bunch of water and pressure, and that's how the fishmen came to be, since they shared the same blood? What if fishmen are just mutated humans over hundreds of years that have lived under environmental pressures like the ocean?
That would be interesting. I like where you two are going with that. Yeah, because I mean, why are they so like they're humanoids, a lot of them, right? Legs, head,
that's true.
arms. Like, why are they humanoid? But then they're not human. They're fish, right? So there has to what is connecting the two? Something is connecting humans and fishmen. How? There has to be a bridge.
They have
there.
a common ancestor. They have a common ancestor somewhere.
I like that. I want to go to Sean's super chat real quick. Thank you, Sean. God bless you, brother, for the 10. He said, what do y'all think of this theory? Luffy / Roger / possibly Joy Boy's true dream, alluded to in chapter 1060, is to share a meal / have a feast with the entire world. You guys got any thoughts before I go?
What was that?
No, you
What
can
was
cook.
that again?
He Sean is saying that Luffy slash Roger slash Joy Boy's true dream that they've been alluding to is to have a meal or share a feast with everyone in the entire world.
Well, see, I've always thought that about Luffy in the terms of he wants to have a party where everybody can eat worldwide. That's what I've always felt like. But what we do know is whatever Luffy wants to accomplish, he only wants to become Pirate King to accomplish that goal. So the
100%.
Pirate King is not the goal. He has his own goal that we still don't fully know. But I've also heard Threeville theorize this before, that it's a statue, that the One Piece could be a statue. So like I could see it. I could see it.
Yeah, so you bring up a phenomenal point. The only reason that Luffy wants to become Pirate King is because he believes that becoming Pirate King gives him an opportunity to accomplish his true dream. So if we're trying to figure out what Luffy's true dream is, we need to take into account what does Pirate King have anything to do with it. And so you bring up a great point. And as far as Luffy's true dream to have a meal or a feast, in my opinion, I think Luffy having a huge feast with many countries or around the world would be the celebration of the One Piece or his true dream. Like, I feel like a huge feast is a byproduct of Luffy's true dream being accomplished, or Luffy becoming the Pirate King. You get what I'm saying? I don't necessarily
Absolutely.
think that the feast itself, like, for an example, right? The big part of every arc, generally, like the major arcs, is Luffy destroying defeating the big bad. And by Luffy defeating the big bad, he then liberates the country. And due to him liberating the country, they have a feast. So like if I was to make a metaphor, Luffy defeating the big bad would be equivalent to Luffy getting the One Piece. And Luffy defeating the big bad, therefore liberating the country, would be what Luffy does after getting the One Piece, accomplishing his true dream. And then since the country's liberated and they celebrate with a feast on the island, that would be allegorical or a metaphor to Luffy having a big feast because of accomplishing the true dream. That's how I see it. That's how I feel about it.
See, I think that's perfect. I think that's spot on, even down to the adjective that you used as a byproduct. So I agree with that a ton.
And in terms of the One Piece being connected to Luffy's true dream, I have videos talking about this spread across multiple videos, but my personal opinion is the idea that the One Piece is a statue of Nika, therefore Luffy. 3 times in the story, Luffy has said he wanted a statue of himself, specifically bronze. Hang on to that.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
if Nika is the symbolism of liberation, if there was a statue of Nika, that would be the Statue of Liberation or the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty in real life is the statue that symbolizes the freedom of America, America being a free country.
Yeah, justice and freedom. Yeah.
Exactly. And the Statue of Liberty symbolizing America, the free country in real life, is made out of bronze. It's made out of bronze. It's made out of copper. Exactly what Luffy asked his statue to be made of. Moreover, you have the fact that when Luffy, as a kid, told Ace and Sabo his true dream and Oda hid it, when you flip the page, Luffy's standing there with a big big structure, like this little marketplace thing that says Luffy's country. Kind of strange that Oda would do that. So the whole idea of Luffy having a statue of himself, a statue of Nika, the Statue of Liberty, would to be symbolizing Luffy's true dream of creating a pirate country, because Luffy's idea of being a pirate king is to be a free person, a pirate king, because he believes being a pirate makes you free. So if you're the pirate king, you're the most free man. So if Luffy wanted to make a pirate country, he'd be leading a free country, and his foil character Blackbeard wants to make a pirate country. So if Luffy and Blackbeard are foil characters and they both wanted to make a pirate country, we know in Luffy's eyes a pirate country would be a free country with actual regulation and not make it evil, whereas Blackbeard wants to make a pirate country that allows evil. So Luffy's true dream, in my opinion, would to be a free country like America, a pirate country. He believes that pirate equals free, pirate country, free country, and the symbolism, the proof that this already existed is the Statue of Liberty, just like in Planet of the Apes, how they discovered the Statue of Liberty to prove that America already existed.
See that I absolutely agree with that, and I think the best thing that supports everything you just said was I know you've used this before. I've seen you bring it up in videos. I've seen you bring it up in exact argument before, so I know that it supports your point, and that is the picture of Ace, Sabo, and Luffy. I think they have lemonade stands or whatever.
Yeah,
And one
exactly.
over Luffy's, it says Luffy's country.
Yup, that's
So
literally
there
on
you
the
go.
next page. When you guys, I'm telling you,
100% proof.
go look at it yourselves, guys. When Luffy and Ace in the ASL flashback, when they were talking about their true dreams, and Oda hid Luffy's true dream, flip the page. What do we see? Luffy's country. Luffy has a stand. How ironic is that? That is some Oda level foreshadowing. And again, you got to think that the One Piece has something to do with Luffy's dream. Well, how perfect is it that the Statue of Liberty, a statue of Nika, therefore Luffy, the Statue of Liberty would symbolize the free country like America, right? Where all the races come together. The Statue of Liberty is where New York is, the melting pot. America's a melting pot where all races come together. So Luffy's true dream of making a pirate country is really just a free country, because Pirate King is a free man. So I that's why I think the One Piece is the Statue of Liberty, Luffy and Nika, and his true dream is a pirate country, aka a free country.
My thing with that is going to go with how Blackbeard was trying to make Pirate Island a country.
Exactly.
Or part of the, but instead of doing it his way.
The Statue of Liberty was a gift from the French. So if Luffy's statue is a gift, I think that would be a fun layer to add on to that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I do like what Amuni was pointing out, that Blackbeard's true dream, he literally says it in the official translations. He says that he wants to have his own, he wants to turn Pirate Island into a pirate country. And Kobe gave the same exact reaction as the Straw Hats giving Luffy when Luffy told them his true dream. He said there's no way that would ever happen. That would never happen. The government would never allow that. And what was Blackbeard's response in the official translations? Don't try to squander my dream. My dream? Wait. Blackbeard, your dream? Wait, dream. DREAM, your dream is to have a pirate country, and you're supposed to be the foil character of Luffy. So yes, I think there's a lot of pointers to pirate country, free country for the dream.
I absolutely agree with you, and to even further prove your point, Kobe's reaction to Blackbeard's dream when he said that kind of reminds me of Usopp's reaction to Luffy's dream. Like, no way, that'll never happen. That was Usopp's reaction down to the T.
Exactly.
He didn't bring up the government or anything like that wouldn't happen. He just said that's impossible. No way that can happen.
Exactly. And Dawn of Ascension just made a point. She said that dream would tie in with Joy Boy's Ancient Kingdom. Yeah, Joy Boy's Ancient Kingdom, I think most fans would agree, it had all the races and it was a free country. I think we all assume that. So if Luffy ties into Joy Boy, wouldn't it make sense that Luffy would launch and start a free country? But I wanted to bounce back because I think this point went over people's heads. When Luffy 3 times in the story asks for a statue of himself and he never got one, he specifically said that he wanted it to be made out of copper and bronze. That's the same material that we have for the Statue of Liberty in real life, and I feel like that detail is going over some people's heads. Statue of Liberty.
Yeah. What makes a country? Like how much land do you need? Because I was thinking, say if the world was to unflood, go back down, and it's like one huge big landmass again. With that, how instead of just a small little country, he got him like a little big one.
Yeah, I see what you're getting at. To answer your question, I think Oda isn't really focusing on how big the landmass would be. He's more focusing on the world recognizing it. So when you see Blackbeard ask to make the pirate island into a pirate country, he needs the world government to recognize it. And then we think back to islands like Ohara, they were deleted and erased off the map. It's not recognized anymore. So I think for Oda, he's more focused on not how big the island would be, not how big the landmass is, but more so, does the world recognize it?
I want the world to recognize it, yeah.
Putting it on maps and stuff like that.
And that's where Blackbeard has the biggest advantage. He's got the hero of the Marines. He's gonna get what he wants. Mark my words. He is gonna get his country. He's gonna get called a king, and he's gonna be recognized.
He's old and retired.
He's
You know,
still
not retired.
valuable.
Definitely sign
He's
him
still
definitely
valuable.
elected.
He's
Okay.
Garp.
Say given
He's
that
him.
Garland got saved by Garp, that God Valley, he definitely realized the value of Garp,
And
even though he doesn't like him.
Dawn of Ascension again makes another phenomenal point. Luffy would unite all races in his free country. I think again most fans would agree Luffy would unite all races.
Yeah.
Look at all the things
So
in the
he
story.
would make Big Mom's dream true.
Exactly.
He would take Big Mom's dream
Yeah.
and actually make it happen.
Exactly. So Big Mom, I
Yeah.
forgot to point that out. Big Mom's goal, it foreshadows Luffy's dream as well. But again, think about this. So if Luffy ends up creating a pirate country because he's the pirate king, he would be the pirate king of the pirate country, and pirate means free. And Luffy would unite all races. That's America. America is the melting pot of the world. It is the most diverse country. That's like everyone says that America is a melting pot.
On that,
Absolutely.
but I'm gonna wait till after.
Yeah,
It's a melting pot, but again, what symbolizes America? What is the symbolism? The Statue of Liberty, and there you have this whole
The
theme of
government.
Luffy being Nika, and then the whole government thing, corrupting it. Yeah,
yeah.
Big Mama's a nutcase. They're saying in the chat. She is pretty deranged.
I actually kind of feel bad for Big Mom. See, Big Mom is the result of what happens when you repress trauma. She is literally the walking symbol of what happens when you have repressed trauma.
Yeah. The
To
effects
be
of
honest,
no therapy.
when I first read Whole Cake Island for the first time, I could not believe that Oda even implied that Big Mom ate Mother Caramel and the rest of the kids. Like it blew my mind when he brought cannibalism into it.
Yeah, and Greg has been going crazy recently because if Big Mom ate caramel to get the fruit, how do we not know that Blackbeard didn't eat Whitebeard's heart? In Norse mythology? In Norse mythology, Greg just showed us weeks ago how in Norse mythology when they would eat people's hearts to take the power and the attributes of the person.
I was thinking since the celestial dragon running out of food because the dragon in them,
Oh no,
they got their slaves. They might resort to cannibalism.
They're gonna eat their slaves. That's dark, bro. That is dark.
They got to do what they got to do to survive.
That is dark. And that would probably be one of the most darkest
they're
things
gonna
in One
eat their
Piece.
slaves, and they ain't even gonna put ketchup on them, man. They ain't gonna even see
Yeah, they
them.
might start talking about eating the minks.
Man, no ranch, no Polynesian. They're gonna eat their slaves with Polynesian sauce. All right, guys, listen. This has been an extremely fun stream. I say we do this tomorrow. We should get the long summary tomorrow. Are you guys down for this again tomorrow?
Oh, I'm down for this.
Yeah, for sure.
Listen, anytime you want to do this, you let me know.
All right, we should be live tomorrow as long as the long summary ends up releasing. And then, of course, we'll go live again with the full chapter reaction. Make sure you guys drop a like on the stream. If you're new here, subscribe. If you're not new here, hit the notification bell so you don't miss future streams. If you guys have any final theories, any final takes, any final questions, guys, whether you're in the voice chat or in the text chat, guys, now's a great time to ask away and post. And we'll wrap up
Also,
here soon.
guys, if I see anything extra, any extra spoilers or anything like that, I'll drop them in the Discord if I see them.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think we got to just get you mod on Discord. You could post it in the new spoilers channel. Because you're always posting spoilers. Because if you're able to post it in there, that'd be very useful. You know how to like post things and ping people, right?
I think so.
Okay, because here, this is what I'll do. I'm gonna give you Holy Knights on my Discord. So you're essentially a moderator. You'll have access to more chats. What you could do, bro, is when you're on my server, you go to new spoilers, the text channel. And when you go to post a spoiler, you could use a picture or a link or whatever. Maybe the picture's better. Just do @spoilers. That's all you really do.
Okay, so just @spoilers. Okay, got it.
Yeah, and I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thank you, bro. I appreciate your help all the time. You're always posting the spoilers. Always.
No problem, bro. I just so happen to always look at my phone when they're posted. Like I never plan it.
It's just you just so happen to be seeing it at the time.
I think I got a spidey sense for it, man.
Ah.
I swear when Read On and Pew Peace post, I'm like, they just posted it. I could be in the middle of a workout and I just so happen to pop up on it. It's crazy.
You're like 4 reps remaining, and you're like, nah, I gotta look at the spoilers. Actually, I'm not even gonna finish the set.
One Piece runs my life. What can I say?
Tiante posted something interesting. I want to know what you guys think. Tiante said Loki also ate the heart of the Norse goddess monster Angroba.
Anglovoda, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. What do you guys think about that?
I don't know. It could play into how he ate his father's fruit. Could have maybe ate a body part. I don't know.
I think any theory with giants eating each other's hearts or giants being cannibals, I think it's a good theory because it leads into the war of giants, not just Norse giants, but Greek giants are the same way. So I think it's a fairly good, detail.
I think that's a good detail
Yeah.
as well, Tiante. I mean, just as Greg has been posting for months, he made a whole PDF. We reacted to it on my birthday stream. The idea that Norse mythology, those guys in the past, not even mythology, Norse history, these guys used to eat people's hearts because that's how they believed eating someone's heart would give them their power and their attributes. And when we think about how Big Mom has the soul fruit, that's because she ate Mother Carmel. So now when we think about Blackbeard getting Whitebeard's fruit, how's that possible? Maybe because Blackbeard, being a historian, being an ancient history researcher, he come to figure out that Elbaf used to do that. And coincidentally enough, when Big Mom ate Mother Carmel and got that fruit, what island did that take place in? I think it makes so much sense that Norse mythology Elbaf tying into Norse mythology plays into the idea eating someone's heart gives you their devil fruit, gives you their powers, related to the real life circumstance, the real life thought behind it.
And that's how Blackbeard circumnavigated being able to eat 2 devil fruits.
Exactly.
I like it. I like it. I think that's a really, really strong theory. I also think that on the other side, it could be related to Kuma and the Buccaneers. Because we remember Vegapunk said that the Buccaneers had some certain special property of their soul. So I think, and that leads into Whitebeard as a Buccaneer theory.
Yeah.
It went from Lunarian to Buccaneer, now it's Buccaneer. So I think you make a good point.
You make a powerful point with that, because the last time that Saturn talked about Kuma's special race, he immediately mentioned Blackbeard.
Exactly.
You make a powerful point with that, Smokey.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't remember what chapter that was, but you guys know what I'm referring to.
Yeah,
it was an intermediate chapter after
that.
Kizaru got sent flying into the boat, I think.
Yeah.
And that Katarina and Augur showed up.
Yeah, Sean, it's alluded to, or at least alluded to the idea he has a different race. You also have the fact that when this first took place, Blackbeard getting Whitebeard's fruit, Marco's immediate reaction is like, hey, that makes sense because Blackbeard has a strange body. Well, if Blackbeard was from a different race, not quote unquote human, then it would make sense that he would have a strange body, right? Because he's from a strange race. But I don't remember which chapter. They were talking about Saturn specifically. He was talking about not Blackbeard, I keep saying Blackbeard. He was talking about Kuma's different race, and then immediately started talking about Blackbeard as if he wanted to allude to the idea that Blackbeard was a different race.
I want to say that's when Katarina Devon came in. When they said that, because he did, I want to say he seen him.
What, that was like 11,
20? Because he was like, what do y'all want? The world.
Oh, it was that time. So, because I want to find the exact chapter. I don't
know. It was like...
I do remember that.
It was
He's
like
right, because Saturn asked them what they wanted, and they said the world. And it's one of the
It's-
most rawest panels I've
Yeah.
seen of the Blackbeard Pirates ever
That was
in the
cold.
story.
Was it
Oda
after
killed
Bonnie
that
Nika? Was it after Bonnie appeared as Nika? Was it after that?
No, it was before that. Before that. I want
Before
to say
that.
it's like between 1100, 1110, somewhere maybe there. I would look, but combing his hair.
Are you talking about when Van August said they were trying to take the war?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm
Okay,
looking
so
for
the Gorsei appeared there.
yeah,
That was 1111, right?
yeah. I'm looking
Because
specifically for the Blackbeard comment
That's
from Saturn.
when Luffy hit Saturn. I want to say he hit Saturn and Kizaru, and he
With the
Saturn
Dawn symbol.
flew.
No, he hit Sound with a Dawn Gatling, and then he fell into the debris, and then Katrina Devlin touched him, and then he
Yeah.
talked about the Blackbeard shit.
What do
He's
you know?
lineating them.
The world.
Yeah, you got to be very, very close to it, Threeble.
11:15
Yeah.
or so.
Yeah, it's around there.
11:16. Let's see.
I
Nope.
think it's before the Gorsei. I think it's before the Diablo Gorsei.
It's before the Gorsei came.
No way, because wasn't the Katarina thing way after that?
No, because
No, I
if
think
Gorsei was there.
singularly with
So
Kizaru.
it wasn't during
And then-
when Vegapunk was going through his message,
No,
right?
no.
it was
No,
Yeah.
because
before that.
Katarina showed up
Because
towards
that-
the end of the arc, right? Didn't she show up at they showed up at the
No,
very end?
No, Katarina
He showed
came.
up like shortly before he decided to bring all of them.
Yeah, bring them all in. So then it got to be like 1090.
Yeah, it's got to be between
Between-
1090 and like 1105.
Yeah,
All right, let me check.
Damn, Oda, you know what you were doing with that cover story of Nami.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
man
we
Oda's
know
a
for
dirty
sure.
man, bro.
Yeah, he's had his,
ain't Nami supposed to be his wife?
Hey, that's what I was about to say. To Oda's credit, he's committed. He married a Nami cosplayer, so
Hmm.
Blackbeard propaganda said
low
1097.
key. I
Check-
think
check
Oda is
11
living
1103.
vicariously through Road right
1103, I
now.
think.
You know how degenerate Road was in the last chapter? I think Oda was living through him.
So does that mean
he
Nami
loves
is
characters like
celestial?
Rose. He loves
Since-
characters
since-
like Rose.
Since Oda think himself a Shanks and his wife is Nami.
No, I was thinking
No,
more
it's
of the
not
point of
1103.
Road
Yeah.
acting like a degenerate towards Nami. I bet that's how Oda got his wife.
Might be 1104 or 5, to be honest.
Bro,
Maybe one
I
of those
could have
two.
swore that it was like at the end.
Okay, I'm
of
sorry,
the-
Popo. I'm
the
sorry, Popo.
end.
Hold on. Let me drop my hands. Let me drop my hands. Hold on, Popo. I'm not done yet. That almost done.
Man, Saturn was talking about Kuma's race, and then he immediately shifted to Blackbeard.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah,
1103.
yeah.
Let me check 1104.
Is it 1105?
I'm here with it. No, that's the flashback of when Jenny and Ivankov came.
Okay, you're getting pretty close to it now, Threevil. It's got to at least be 1103, 1102, something like
Because
that.
it was like when he did but the moment I'm referring to, we already knew Kuma was a different race by this point.
Yeah. We had known that by that point.
Simon says 1107.
There we go. There we go.
Yep.
Is it over here?
That's when Sanji can't even El Sanji. You just gotta say El Sanji.
Teach is special.
Teacher's special.
I saw
as is his
something. Yeah,
bloodline.
teachers, but yeah.
And that's after the Guy Valley incident and stuff.
Special lineage of Martha.
Who would have
Yeah,
have
so-
known when we started Fishman Island that Caribou would become such an important character?
Man, it's been slowly building with all those poneglyphs, but are not
The
poneglyphs, the
only
ancient
thing
weapons.
I want to see right now is just Blackbeard and Caribou.
So
receiving that information. That's all I want to see.
now that I finally found this, Simon, again, thank you for finding the chapter. Shout out to Simon. My argument is that this entire A-Kid Island arc was about Kuma and Bonnie and this whole God Valley, this Buccaneer stuff and Nika. I just find it very ironic that, again, this arc where we find out that there's a Buccaneer race and that Kuma's a part of it. This is the same arc that Saturn talks about Blackbeard's bloodline. One, isn't that way too much of a coincidence? Two, how does he know about Blackbeard's bloodline? Does he know about Blackbeard's bloodline because he is a Buccaneer? Like, I think there's an argument to be made here. It's just it's too coincidental. Bloodline.
About that, right? Like, some people thought he knew about Blackbeard's lineage because Shanks had told him something.
Yeah, and that completely got killed.
Yeah, that could
January-
be a play because when Shanks and Blackbeard
January
had that
21st,
encounter,
2025. You heard it here, folks. The Shanks is a rat agenda is officially dead.
Dead. All right. Wait, with that being said, I think we're going to wrap up the stream here. Guys, again, this has been an absolute blast. Thank you to those of you that are in VC with me. We got Smokey, Elite One, and a Mooney. We were able to chop it up and share some theories. Thank you to you three. And to the rest of you guys in chat, again, thank you so much for being here. Guys, hit the notification bell so you don't miss our reaction to the long summary as well as the chapter reaction. I just want to say goodbye to Smokey, you personally, Elite One, Amuni, everyone in the text chat. Lots of fun. Thank you guys for cooking. And guys, we'll do this again next stream. All you guys got to do is just join the Discord server and then I'll drag you into our voice chat. But with that being said, guys, take care. I hope everyone here has a nice morning.
I appreciate it, my friend.
Yeah, say your goodbyes, Amuni, and Elite One and Smokey.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys in chat. It's always fun chopping it up with you all. Threeville, anytime you want to have a chapter discussion, bro, you let me know. And I'm here.
I'll let everyone know.
Go chat, man.
All right. And Blackbeard Propagandist, thank you for that last minute super. Blackbeard is a descendant of Davy Jones. Hey, I'm here for it. D as in Davy. I'm here for it. Thank you. And with that being said, guys, seriously now, everyone here have a nice morning, day, or night, wherever you guys are. God bless you all. I hope Christ is with you all, guys. Build your relationship with God. Take care of yourself. Get some water, good food, exercise, spread love, be patient, be resilient. Take care, everybody.